Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by Mountain Dew, Aura Frames, DraftKings, and Chime. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear.
I don't know why the tone of your voice sounded like, do you want to be here? I'm happy you're here, Brian.
I'm trying to bring Nate in.
Hello, folks. Hey, man. Brian Bates. Another day, just doing my dream job.
I'm excited to be here. Hello, Brian Bates, Aaron Weber.
Now you're overdoing it.
Dustin Nickerson, who was just maybe the quickest returning guest we've ever had.
Nice.
People said, we want Dustin back.
I don't think they said that. Some of them might have.
Well, you were just here last month.
Someone said the complete opposite.
Yeah. We'll get to those in the comments.
Yeah, good. Go good.
And returning Melissa Nickerson.
Hey there.
That one they're happy about.
They are happy
People
about
are
that.
happy to see you, Mel.
You know, you guys were our first guest on
In
this
the new
table.
space?
Yeah, the new
Mm-hmm.
space.
We broke it in. Nice.
Even though that kind of aired as a "Don't Make Me Come Back There" episode,
Yeah,
this was you guys broke it in.
we did both. It was a Nateland too.
It was a
Little
crossover,
synergy.
but they
We hosted
Yeah.
a bit. Yeah.
they made it a
A little cross pollination. I worked in a corporate setting.
yeah.
I mean, that might be the first 6-syllable word ever used on this podcast.
I think it's technically a hyphenated word. So does it count as the one?
I think you still add up the syllables.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just trying to impress Notre Dame right here.
Oh, stop that. You're making me blush.
I can't believe. I mean, all due respect to Bates, but your ads are
That
so
ad
good.
read
Hey,
was
thanks, dude.
phenomenal.
Thanks,
really,
man.
really strong.
Hey, man. It feels good. It feels good to hit it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? We haven't done them yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I just get a sense.
They're coming up
Just
later
get a
in the show.
sense that
You can
this
feel it coming.
son of an educator, and
Yeah.
all due respect to Middle Tennessee University.
Middle Tennessee State University. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry.
You got to
Blue
qualify it
Raiders.
even more.
I know. MTSU. It
I'm
just
the Middle
rolls off
Tennessee's
the tongue.
kid. Nate is on his.
I'm sorry. That I missed that. Is that a joke, you guys? The
What?
Middle Tennessee kid is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny.
That's funny.
that's
That's the Middle
fantastic.
Tennessee
Yeah.
kid.
Aaron
The
gave me
new
that.
running joke on the podcast now is all that Brian's tour is called the Easier to Drive tour because all his gigs, it's just like you should just drive there.
Yeah.
Like it's all
I'll
all within a 4-hour driving
yeah,
range.
yeah. One tank of gas tour.
Yeah. I also call it sometimes the Dustin Nickerson 5 years ago tour.
I do like that.
God
Mhm.
willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin's down here.
It could
Nate,
very well be the Dustin Nickerson 5 years from now tour.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
You never know.
Mhm.
Life comes at you fast.
Nate is on his way. He wants people to know he's on his way. He'll get here. So don't stop watching just because these people are here. Nate and I will run this podcast. We'll do a great job.
Okay.
So
He'll get here when he gets here.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
that is true, Melissa.
That was such a mom.
No, I think it's from
Yeah.
a movie or something. I'll get here when I get
It's
there.
actually, I mean, that's a good tease for what this episode's going to be about later.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Yeah,
road
yeah.
trips. We'll get there when we
I
get
like
there.
Yeah.
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 You know,
yeah.
That's what you're screaming at your kids.
Yeah.
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 Syllogisms.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Parenting's
Whoa.
about. Yeah, syllogism.
What is?
We don't know what a
Okay,
syllogism is,
okay,
Aaron.
philosophy.
Hold on,
Major.
not a syllogism.
Oh, and
Simile?
No, I know that one.
Tautology, maybe?
yeah, it sounds like tautology to me.
Hold on. No. There's one term that's just like a
Classic T.
self-evident statement, like the subject and the
Soliloquy.
soliloquies up there.
I'm
It's
just
That's up
I'm just
there.
saying big words
Yeah.
It's
that
just-
I know.
yeah, where it's like the color red is red, where it's just a self-evident statement.
Oh,
It's one of there's this term for it,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't remember. I'm sorry.
man.
Sorry, I brought it up, everybody. This is kind of stuff Nate shuts down quick.
This is
so-
like the philosophy 101 majors.
That's,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's true. And I was a philosophy student.
I have a philosophy question for
Yes,
you.
go ahead.
No. Later when we get in the topic, I have
Okay.
a philosophy
Okay.
question for you. Dusty,
Actually, this opened with a philosophy issue of Brian going, "Why am I here?"
That's right. We've already dabbled with issues of existential dread on the podcast. It usually takes about 15 minutes to get into that.
yeah.
We're off to the races today.
Dusty is not here. He could be. He doesn't care for Melissa. And-
He does. Yeah.
He always skips my episodes.
Yeah.
he doesn't think women should host podcasts.
Right.
And,
Good.
or be guests on podcasts.
Me neither,
So-
honestly.
Yeah.
So funny. I mean, he does a podcast with his wife.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear before
Yeah.
people hop in the comments.
All right. So let's talk about where we were this weekend.
Let's get into it, man. Where were you, Brian?
I
I haven't
was
seen
in-
you in a while, man.
I was in Huntington, Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee kid.
I ventured to West Tennessee though.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Get out
Getting
there.
out there, man.
Went to the
Where's Huntington?
it's about 2 hours west of here.
Is there a reference city that
Kind of north of Jackson a little bit.
I like when you do.
Memphis? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I'm kidding.
I like when you do cities that are so small that it's not the first one you think of when you say that. Like when you say Huntington,
Uh-huh.
I'm like California, like Huntington Beach,
Huntington
California.
Beach.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or
I
like-
didn't.
Mhm.
I
Oh
thought-
yeah,
I thought
or
West
maybe
Virginia.
Oh, there. Even more the point. We
Is
thought
there-
of two more before we thought of the
Yeah,
state
yeah.
you live in.
Uh-huh. Is there a Huntington, West Virginia, or am I crazy?
Yeah, it's where Marshall is, right?
Okay, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. I
Yeah.
didn't even know there was California.
yeah.
But you're in Huntington, Tennessee.
Yeah. Where did I do last week that y'all were making fun of me of?
I mean, dude, well, you did Westchester's Bakersville, Oklahoma, or something.
That was Bartlesville.
Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Bartlesville.
Golly, I did somewhere last week.
Bartlesville is
Yeah.
a
It's not
drugstore.
gonna be
I
funny
think.
unless I can.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
You did the Chuckle Hut in Applesford, Kentucky.
Yeah.
London, Kentucky.
London,
They said they said
Okay.
their thing was it's the fourth largest London in the United States.
And this week I'm playing New York City, Louisiana.
Yeah. I mean, he's from Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's just
Is that
Lebanon.
one?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Huntington, Tennessee. I was at the Dixie Carter Performing Arts Center.
Oh, my
Dixie
bad.
Carter from Designing Women.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
You guys know Designing Women?
No.
Oh.
I'm
I know
sorry.
Henry Cho was on it.
Yep. And I was there with Henry. I wasn't even headlining. I was there with opening for Henry Cho.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
that's awesome.
It's a great theater, and we had a great time. Met a lot of folks. So that's all I did this
Good
weekend.
deal. It's really a cool theater. Some of those theaters in small towns like that are pretty great. I was in St. Louis yesterday at the Helium Comedy Club. My schedule,
Boom.
Oh, that
Shows-
rescheduled
Yeah.
one, right?
yeah, shows they are
Mhm.
rescheduled because of the baby. They moved them. Almost everybody transferred their tickets. A lot of people did not, but
Mhm.
the shows were both sold out, and then they moved the date, and they were both pretty
Yeah.
packed. They were both
That's good.
great. I mean, a 4 p.m. show, and they were like hot. They had
That's
an
awesome.
electricity to them.
Mhm.
It was just fun. What a great town. A lot of great podcast listeners came out. Just a good time. People give gifts for the baby now. It's so
Mhm.
cool.
That's awesome.
It's really great. And like after the show, Lucy will text me like, "What did we get it? Like, what did we get?"
What do we
Yeah.
get?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a fan last night at my show ask if I was gonna get to see your baby. They're like, "Are you guys going to Nashville? Are you going to see all of them?" Like, I'm not
we
sure.
we were going to. We were gonna like bring you guys
Yeah.
lunch.
Oh, that
today?
would have been great.
I know, but the flight.
We didn't have
We
time.
we
Okay.
thought we were recording at 6, but with 4, we couldn't
Yeah.
do it. We couldn't do it today.
Well, I used to live
Yeah.
right
by the airport.
5 minutes from the
Yeah.
airport, which I'm learning trying to sell the house. Other people aren't as thrilled about as I was. I thought,
Selling point for you.
yeah, I was like, well, this is going to go off the market
Yeah.
quick, dude. It's
Yeah.
right by the airport.
Yeah.
Right.
And the planes get so low.
Oh,
It'll shock you how low they get.
But was it
Yeah.
very loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I used
It'll
to live.
shake
Yeah.
the house, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to live very close to there, and I didn't
Yeah.
really notice it.
Mhm.
And they don't have. You had the joke, right? Or that you talked about. Orange County, they have the regulation, right, of when planes can land, but Nashville doesn't
Yeah.
have that.
Well, I didn't live in that kind of neighborhood
Yeah.
where we have any influence
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
the sky.
They
We're
go around
barely
Nate's
taking-
house.
Yeah.
They go-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My neighborhood, we're still working on the ground, but once we get that taken care of,
Yeah.
we'll start working on the sky.
Mm.
Well,
That's awesome.
the shows went great. Thank you to everybody that came. That was like my last show that got messed up. Messed up's the wrong word. That got adjusted because of the baby.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't
Postponed.
regret having a
Postponed,
child.
right?
Rescheduled.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
Soliloquied.
I'm not sad about things.
I
I,
don't
want to
know.
make that very clear.
Okay.
I'm happy they worked out the way they did.
Yes.
Is that enough?
Mhm.
Okay.
We don't. We understand.
I know.
It's a reschedule. Yeah, totally.
I'm kidding. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Everything's great. What have y'all been up to, man? I haven't seen y'all in forever.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, what was your weekend?
I was trying to see Wicked with my teen and tween daughters. I wanted to, kind of do something before I left for a day, and then they were like, "We already planned it. We just need rides."
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Welcome to parenting older children.
So the 10-year-olds went to one theater with one mom, and then the 3 15-year-olds I took to another theater, and then they were like, "You can go now, but I need money for dinner." And then I went home and cleaned.
So you thought this would be a fun, like, mother and children.
You thought you were going to see
I want to see it.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
That's pretty long.
Super long
Wicked
movie.
long.
Wow.
And it's only the first half. There's a part 2 in a year.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, man.
Well, no, that's common knowledge.
I think
On the
is
internet.
the part 2 just the Wizard of Oz?
No.
It's the
That's
Wiz.
the part 3.
Part 3 is the Wizard
Wizard
of
of
Oz.
Oz. This is the backstory.
So
So it's just like
Wicked-
Star Wars. Star Wars started with 3, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
No,
so,
Star Wars started 4,
so is
Starts
it
for four.
canon, though? Is it, like, considered...
right?
Is it authorized
I don't
by whoever wrote Wizard of Oz, the book?
Well, I'm thinking they're probably not alive anymore.
That's probably true.
But I know the Wicked, the Broadway musical, has been popular for like 20 years.
Right.
Ish. So it was originally a book.
Why don't they call the movie
Yeah.
Wicked 1?
Mm.
Just let everybody
Or
know
just,
there's another one
Or
coming.
just Wick. And then
And then Id.
Wait, I know. I wonder what they'll call the second one. Wicked 2?
It's got to be Wicked too.
yeah.
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 Know that.
Wiccan.
It's kind of frustrating. You can't.
Yeah, it's not Rocky 1.
Yeah.
Is that the way they do the
I
broad?
guess that's the way they do it.
Do they do the Broadway musical in 2 parts too?
Well, just
Like
the
Friday
intermission.
night is Wick, and then
No. So they
Oh.
did the whole musical in about that, like under 3 hours, and then they made the movie, super long.
So they added a lot.
They added a lot. Yeah, according to my daughters, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Is it getting good? Or I mean, I've heard a lot of hype about this. I go to Target; they got displays up everywhere.
Yeah, my daughters enjoyed it.
Okay.
Mhm. They did say it was long though.
Yeah.
It's a long movie.
It sounds like they're doing
Yeah.
what they did like with The Hobbit, where they're like, this is 3 movies. And you're like, is it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because it wasn't. It was actually the shortest of the books.
Yeah.
And those were each one movie. So
I guess I get it. I remember thinking like when they announced they were going to split the last Harry Potter movie up into 2 movies,
Yeah.
I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
Take your time with it.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
like Wicked, if you like this stuff, it's like,
Yeah.
make it 10 movies. Who
Right.
cares?
They did the same thing with Avengers. Right. They're-
Yeah,
well, no,
they
the
did.
actual finale, because
Mhm.
Endgame and
Infinity War.
Infinity War
Yeah,
are
yeah.
considered
Mm-hmm.
one piece.
And Dusty's not here because he's at Wicked right now.
Yeah.
It's a long movie.
By himself.
In costume.
He took
cosplay.
off. Yep. Then he's going to go home and watch The Hobbit and Harry Potter.
That's right. He's going to get
Seems
into
like
it
a lot
today.
of things Dusty would love.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
3 favorite. So
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I have to look forward to.
Yeah.
You do. And, you just take what you can get.
Yeah.
You,
You
just
know?
wanted to see Wicked. You just wanted to
They-
go to a movie.
They had a blast, and I'm happy for them.
Do you have
Yeah.
rivalries with
Mhm.
other parents, like that mom that got to go with the kids?
Mm.
Like, do you like
well,
that?
that was the
Mhm.
funny thing is what happens is the kids plan it all. So I'm just the ride and the,
Mhm.
The financer.
Financier. Yeah.
So I was like, man, I really want to see this movie. And my 10-year-old would allow me in the theater,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but then the other mom, she sat in the lobby of the theater, like listening to an audiobook. And I was like,
Wow.
so like I could have gone, but it was the kids planned it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're taking us and she's taking them. And I was like, all right.
When I
So-
was a small kid, there was no PG-13. It was just PG and R.
Really?
So there were
Whoa.
some PG,
Yeah.
there were
I
some
knew about
PG
that.
movies
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
were pretty like, and my sister's 5 years older than me, and sometimes
Yeah.
my mom would take her, and then I would tag along, and it was
Yeah.
some awkward stuff for
Yeah.
an 8-year-old.
Hey, sis.
We saw the movie.
You didn't have any websites to kind of
Yeah.
preview.
No,
Yeah.
gosh, no. We saw 9 to 5.
The Dolly Parton thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
That
was some
was
stuff I heard.
PG.
Yeah.
I think it was. There
Yeah.
was some stuff in that movie that I heard. I was like, oh my, this is the worst thing I've ever heard.
But did it go over your head?
Well, the language didn't.
Yeah.
Some of
the
the
jokes.
some of
Innuendo.
the innuendo went over
Mhm.
my head. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I just knew enough to know that this. I was a little embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
That happens with the younger siblings. You're just like, sorry.
Yep.
Like, we're doing a family thing.
Yeah.
Like, we just, like, cover their eyes for a sec.
Each of our kids will get a phone much earlier than the oldest did.
It's like a running joke.
Yeah. Like,
'Cause I remember it used to be a point of pride with you.
I mean, we held
How
off.
long?
I mean, we waited till high school for Joel.
How many kids
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
have?
Is that longer
3.
than most? I didn't get mine first until 16.
Well,
I know it's a different world now.
Totally
It's
different.
a different
world.
world.
Totally
I,
different
I
world.
would say
I was 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say about 30.
Is that a car phone?
About 30% of fifth graders have phones.
Yeah, a lot
Wow.
of. I would say it's higher than that.
yeah, maybe
young
higher.
kids have.
Fifth
Oh, yeah,
graders.
Yeah. Because we have a fifth
At
grader.
least where we live, you see them on their
After school.
particularly
Yeah.
smartphones. Like there are other versions of phones that you can get where it's just texting and calling or location or some basic things, which is fine because you don't mind. It's a tool as a parent. It's nice to be able to like look
It
where
saves
your
your
kids
life
are.
when you're
and-
like
yeah.
sitting in some line in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, where are you?
You got location sharing turned
Mhm.
on with them?
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, how
Yeah.
much time does that save? And just like
It's
peace of
unbelievable.
mind.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really great. That we like a lot. But yeah, Joel, our oldest, he got one freshman year, and we held out, and it was hard getting through the middle school year when most of their friends have them. It's tough.
Yeah.
And then Gloria got one a year earlier.
Yeah.
And we've already been like, Claire, who's in 5th
We keep
grade.
joking.
You're like, it would be easier if she.
Yeah. We'll get you a 15.
Yeah.
You know,
We're getting tired of this green bubble in the group chat.
What a loser.
Gotta get an iPhone
Yeah.
so I don't bully her.
It's almost like you have to get all the parents of your kids' class and go, let's all make an agreement together.
Yeah.
Let's.
You would
Yeah.
think that would be possible.
They would never
but-
do
I
it.
know that's
Yeah,
fantasy
yeah, yeah.
land.
It's like comedians; they would never unionize. We're too selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they hand out the phones. They're like, get a line. Here's the free phone.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're trying to get everyone a phone, like
That's
at,
right.
Verizon, and so it's tough.
Do your kids
Yeah.
have one?
Yeah. Olive's
She's not
got one.
far.
Olive's
Yeah.
got like a
Olive will have one.
Twitter,
A
and she's
Bluetooth.
just
Yeah.
2 or 3, she'll be
Yeah.
on
Off
one
on
for
it.
sure.
Well, Lucy's got to talk to her somehow. If
She's gonna
people
love
don't know
that.
this, Lucy's a big texter.
She's gonna love that. Yeah, she works on her phone. Let's be honest. She
I
works on her phone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
text Lucy a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, they used to call smartphones.
Mhm.
I think nobody now.
Yeah.
Just call your phone. But I can remember when we still called them cell phones.
I still say cell phone every
You did?
now and then. Yeah, I don't know why. I
Mm.
guess it's just grandfathered in my head.
Old
Mhm.
school.
Yeah. Cellular device.
Now, in my mom's case, it matters because she still has a landline. But
Really?
for most of us,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you have a landline?
no.
Okay.
It's not a.
Why would I bring
yeah.
up my mom having one and then if I had one?
I don't know. I feel like you just needed to be asked about it. To admit it.
You were trying to out me.
Yeah. I feel like I would like to have one.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's nice.
If you use a landline, and a lot of y'all listening, you haven't used a landline in years. When you use one, you're like, I cannot believe how good it sounds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the best phone you've ever used in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What about you, Dustin?
I was in Raleigh, technically Cary, at the
Yep.
Raleigh Improv.
Great club.
Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, I was in Chattanooga at the Comedy Catch.
Yeah.
choo
Choo, which is why you invited me to come do the pod because you very nicely looked at the calendar and you're like, "Hey, you're in Chattanooga. It's
Swung
2 years
by. I
and
love
one
that.
time zone away."
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go in the train?
No,
You didn't check it out? You
no.
don't care? You don't have any kind of curiosity about that stuff now?
Oh no,
You've been
I
doing this too long to care about where you're
no,
at?
no. I actually really liked. No.
He went on a walk.
Yeah, you had to keep going for me to realize how sarcastic you were being. No, I loved the town. I actually
Yeah.
was very pleasantly surprised, especially because Raleigh is a great city, but when you do the Raleigh Improv, you stay at Cary, and that's just literally a strip mall that I've been to a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's what it's like as a road comedian. You're like, dude, I've stayed in this Courtyard Marriott in Cary for like
Yeah.
13 nights.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I've spent 2 weeks of my life in this specific courtyard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I was walking around and I was like, oh, they got a Flying Biscuit here now. That wasn't here last time.
Yeah.
Like I know the
You're
neighborhood.
watching the town build.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like,
crazy.
oh, I put some new housing over there. I think I could vote there. I think I might have citizenship. And so you didn't really see it, but Chattanooga, where the comedy catch is like right in the downtown area. Very cute, very nice. Still it's a very nice drive from Chattanooga to here. I really like it.
Beautiful out there in the mountains on the water.
Yeah.
It's a cool place, man. Off our butts and get into some action, and it's fun to do that with Mountain Dew. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew gets you off the sofa and has you feeling like you're charging up the side of an actual mountain. One of those mountains where the weather's perfect, your friends are ready to hang, and a full day of epic games are happening. Can you imagine? I can, because I have a Mountain Dew right in front of me. Check out, these are all incredible flavors. Original, Baja Blast, Code Red, Voltage. My personal favorite's the Baja Blast, but you know what? It's one of those days. You just got to go original right here. That's the original Mountain Dew right in front of me. Can's cold. It's just a good feeling. Nate's played, he plays golf, plays on TV and stuff. He's a good golfer. I try to get out there and do what I can. I'm trying not to be a liability on the golf course.
You're a
but
good
really,
hang.
it's about hang, right?
Yeah.
It's about sitting on the golf cart, enjoying a Mountain Dew with your friends. That's what it's all about. The mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends, grab an ice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do.
We don't have like the fall changing leaves in San Diego. Like you have to go to the mountains, which are like 2-3 hours away. But even just flying in, I was like, orange leaves.
How about that? It's
Yellow
nice, yeah.
leaves.
On the
Yeah.
ground, I assume.
Yeah.
Or even there's some orange, like
You got some color in the trees
just
right
color.
now. So, yeah.
Like we've got the ocean and palm trees and all that.
We got our
but,
stuff.
But we don't have like fall foliage, like just all around. So it's nice.
It's really nice. It's a nice time of year here, and I'm such a big fan. I like the South a lot in general, and I'm a big fan of like a lot of mid-sized to smaller sized cities in the Southeast that I don't know a lot about because I'm not from out here.
Right.
And Chattanooga's on there. I love Raleigh. Asheville is fantastic. Like they're like brand new to me. Like the first time I went to Wilmington, I was like, "What is this?
Yeah, Wilmington's great.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Did you guys know about this?" And you guys are all like, "Yeah, you idiot." It's like
Charleston, you ever heard of
Charleston's
that?
great.
Yeah,
Love Charleston.
Huntington?
Beach, Huntington Beach, California. Yeah, it's
Huntington's
nice. It's
lovely.
pricey. Yeah.
Is it Huntington?
Yeah. It's a small town.
Okay.
I'm
when-
sorry. Is it hunting or honey?
There is a T there, but we don't say it.
Oh,
Right?
Oh,
Hunting-
okay.
It's
Yeah.
Huntington.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
Huntington.
sorry.
But it's
Okay.
Huntington.
So it's also Huntington Beach.
Yeah, I don't think people
Yeah.
say that out there either. Huntington.
No, we just gotta say it faster.
Yeah. It's
It's fine.
and we say it's the conservative
We don't
beach
say
because it is. It's
honey.
actually
What's a conservative beach?
no politically. It's a very conservative area in Southern
beach-
Conservative
California.
I was
area.
thinking the beach itself is
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
conservative beach. I
All
don't
the
know.
sand's
All-
red.
Everybody wears one pieces.
Yeah. No bikinis.
Yeah.
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 That's fun.
But anyway, Huntington, it's a small town when the point of reference I gave you is also a small. I said
It's
Jackson,
Tennessee.
which no one knows where that is either. Unless
That's
you're
not the
from
main
there.
Jackson either.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't go anywhere where it's the main. Jackson, Mississippi.
What's the song? Which Jackson is the
That's
Brown.
Mississippi.
That's Mississippi, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What song are you
I'm
The
talking
going
Johnny
to
Cash. I'm going to
Jackson.
Jackson. The Johnny Cash song.
He probably means Mississippi, right?
I would think.
In the
Yeah.
60s, what was a desirable Jackson to go to when that song came out, or the 70s? Which Jackson would it have been?
I would think Mississippi is what he was referencing.
Yeah.
Desirable. I don't know if he's singing about like I'm pumped to go there.
Well, he is. He's leaving
He
his
is.
girl.
Yeah.
He's
I think
talking
he's
gonna
more
go-
excited about that
Yeah.
than where he's going.
Well,
Yeah.
it
It's not
seemed.
about the destination.
I think it seems. I might disagree on this. He seems pretty excited. I'm gonna mess around.
They're gonna-
I'm gonna
they're
show
gonna mess
these
around.
girls what they
Yeah.
don't know how.
Okay, what
It sounds like he's kind of going to a bit of a party scene.
now? I say all that. Let me clarify. I have
Oh,
never
Jackson.
thought about the lyrics of this song.
Yeah.
So I'm just
No,
I'm
You
they're-
know the song?
I'm
they're
just doing
pumped.
just
They're
to
pumped,
argue
Darren.
with
I'm
you.
gonna mess around. It's very low. Yeah.
And June
We
sings it
got
with him.
married
Yeah,
in a
June's in it, yeah.
fever.
Yeah, we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout.
Things
We've
are
been talking
good.
about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson. I'm going to mess around. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson Town.
I like how you read it like a poem. Look out, Jackson Town.
This is poetry.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
and then
poetry.
June sings the second verse.
Oh, does she? We'll
Go ahead and
Yeah.
wreck your health.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
conversation between him and his.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they rushed into a relationship. Things are going bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm out of here. And she's like, yeah, go do it. What do I care?
They sing
Yeah.
it in the movie Walk the Line.
Mm-hmm.
Reese
Mhm.
Witherspoon
It's
and
great.
Joaquin.
Okay.
It's great.
All right, I'll dig into this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back next week. I'll have some.
They'll lead you
analysis.
around town like a scaled hound. Scalded?
Scalding? I don't know. I
Scalded?
can't read.
With your
Scalding
Scalded
hound.
hound.
With your tail tucked between your legs. I mean, this is
Fiona
good.
Jackson.
You big tongue. That's great. I'm gonna mess around.
Nate recorded his Christmas special.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go, but you and I went down there for dress rehearsal.
Yeah,
and
it
looked
was-
amazing.
It was what.
Oh
It's
my
one of
gosh.
those.
So cool.
You know, when you have a friend that has like a project, when you see it, you're like, oh, this is like a real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
It's-
how I felt.
It's all these abstracts. Everybody's
set.
like, I'm working on this.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
this iron in the fire. And then you see it and you're like, oh, God, this is real.
Yeah.
Like with Taylor and her show.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're like, oh my God, they're a real TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You guys really look at all these cameras.
I know. So
Yeah.
we showed up to the Grand Ole Opry just while everybody was getting set up. First of all, just celebrities just standing around.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mikey Day from SNL, Darius Rucker sitting on the stage, Carrie Underwood was singing on
Wow.
stage.
I don't know if
When,
should we tell that?
oh, what was that a surprise or something?
Well, I mean, people
don't-
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Oh,
just been disclosed.
I thought the lineup was.
I don't. As a,
I haven't
just an
heard any
Carrie was a
Tristan-
surprise. I know.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
You better not leak that to the press over there, buddy.
I'm tweeting it right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, the media's here.
don't text
Yeah.
Bezos.
Oh, here it
Over
is.
there.
Washington Post.
You know.
Aaron Weber
If
breaks
you guys want
news
to stay
of-
alive and not be the failing New York Times,
So when you show up to the Grand Ole Opry, when I walked through, it was like the whole thing was done up. Nate Bargatze's Christmas
fun.
special. It was just
it's amazing.
very cool. I heard it went really well. I was not there. Were
Yeah.
any of y'all there? Adrian, were you there? It went really good? Yeah. All right. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. Keep an eye out for that. That'll be on
And he'll-
network television.
Yeah, I
And
bet they'll hear
he'll
about
probably
it.
tell us more about it when he arrives.
Which he is coming. This is not a lie that we've made to keep you engaged with the podcast. He is on his way.
We'll see.
And you can actually just fast forward and you'll see him and then come back to
Well,
where
he,
you
he
were.
should be in the thumbnail of
Yeah.
the show.
That's funny.
Oh,
yeah.
he would. No, they'll be on the thumbnail.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
no.
usually
I doubt it.
everyone's on
We'll see. We'll see how they do.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Y'all do have to pick it up a little bit, but there is a good chance.
Man,
We're fast paced here.
There's a good chance you'll
this
be
is it.
on the thumbnail.
Good chance.
Mhm.
Yeah, I when Dustin was here last month, it was about the difference between the West Coast and the South.
Oh yes.
I should have picked
Mhm.
foliage because
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dusty shot me down on everything I said.
Well, that's a Southern California thing we don't have. A lot of it does. You know, the Northwest has it. I mean, Idaho, if you count Montana as the Northwest, which it's kind of it. Like,
Okay.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
the Southern California.
fair.
The
doesn't have
Northwest
it
has
all, yeah.
all trees.
That's true.
all the
That's
trees.
true. The
but,
best trees.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about San Diego is like things can bloom year round.
hmm
And so like the tree in our yard, all the leaves fall in February.
hmm
Yeah.
And you're like, huh. But that's kind of like
It's
when
very
it rains
confusing.
in San Diego. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah, it's
so
like
like for allergies, it's like really bad because
You see, you have a rain season in San Diego. It rains
little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Our winter it
Mhm.
rains. Yeah, that's our
Yeah.
thing.
a
That's,
little bit
yeah.
in like January, February.
It's hard
Yeah.
to the leaves falling in February are very confusing because that's not when
Right?
they. It's kind of like
Uh-huh.
it's kind of
I
like
didn't
when
know
you
that.
nap
That's when
And you
pitchers and
wake up
catchers report.
and you're like, what time is it? You're like, that's when pitchers and catches are, or the
It's
leaves
all-
are falling.
It's all
Baseball is starting.
backwards. Yeah.
yeah.
But then when we do get rain, it's terrible because we have all this flooding.
Yeah.
Because our
Oh, yeah.
ground
We're not built
can't
for it.
absorb moisture.
Yeah.
Happy
Why should you be
Valentine's.
right by the ocean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Want to get in these comments?
I say we get to it. Maybe we skip the first one and come back when Nate gets there.
Yeah. Are you reading them?
No, I think you did the intro.
All right. I'll do it then.
Yeah. I want to hear you read.
All right.
That sounded mean.
Oh,
You're
actually,
good.
that
You
is-
actually read really well. I was just saying, I want to hear your. People are sick of my voice.
Yeah.
Comments come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast reviews, and Nateland at NateBargatze.com.
You can also put a letter in the mail. Brian Bates, 243 Magnolia Avenue, Hermitage, Tennessee.
Chris Langham. I'm realizing Aaron is like wine. At first, I didn't get the appeal. You and me both, Chris. But after listening to him on this podcast for the past 3 years, I've started to relate to him a lot and realize he's actually pretty funny.
3 years?
Wow.
Look forward to going to a
crazy.
show.
3 years.
It took 160 episodes
Slow burn.
before I thought this guy is pretty funny.
Three
Still
years.
qualify it with a pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those. You ever get that? Hey, you were pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does that? I'd rather somebody say I hated you
Yeah.
than you're pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't
Yeah.
satisfy.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I've gotten funnier than I thought you would be.
I get that though.
Yeah.
But do you like it? I don't like it.
What do you mean?
Wine?
No.
Aaron.
That comment.
Yeah.
The comment, funnier than you thought, but you said I get that, but you agree, you don't like it, right?
No, I'm saying I get
He
looking at
gets why
Dustin and
some-
thinking
Oh,
this is gonna stink.
I misunderstood.
I'm just kidding.
Well, that I do get.
Yeah. I say that, but also Eddie compliment. Nobody walks up and is mean to or tries to be. You know what I mean?
You and I are at different shows.
Put that on your next poster.
anyways,
Like, if
is
you
it-
like wine, you'll like Aaron.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
I'm like
Right.
wine.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
won't get the appeal based on this headshot, but give it 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
It's an acquired
It'll
taste.
grow on
3
you.
years. 1 hour at a time over 3 years.
Chris, looking forward to coming to the show. Yeah, come to a show. Come to a show. I just announced all 2025 dates. I'm hitting the road
Ooh.
Yeah.
January.
It's breaking news.
Getting out of the house in the end of mid-January I start. So hopefully you can come to a show. I'm way better on stage than on the podcast. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
right?
agree with
Do you agree?
that.
Oof.
He is not good on this podcast.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can agree or disagree with this.
No. I mean, I think
we
we get a
all-
Melissa burn.
No, you're like,
Do you think that?
yeah.
Either way, it's an insult.
No,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because
This
you're
is not
comic.
the main thing we
You're
do.
comic.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Well, you have it hard on here too because Nate paints you as this elitist intellectual, which is not. You're not John Hodgman.
Don't
You're not.
forget
Yeah.
Rich
Yeah.
and all the other things.
You're not doing some character. That's not you on
Principal's
stage.
son.
Yeah,
Classic.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, podcast folks probably think you're something different.
That's probably true. Yeah. I had a lot of people go, yeah, your voice sounded different. You got a
Mhm.
weird, I never heard you talk that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Steffi Behringer. Dustin Nickerson looks like he could be Macklemore's religious brother.
All right. Is Macklemore not religious?
I think he is a little religious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak to Macklemore's faith.
Let's get into it, dude.
Yeah, I never met the guy.
Trying to make the thumbnail? This is how you do it.
Yeah, there we go. Particularly pre-mustache. I used to get that one
Mm.
a lot.
Oh, the mustache does change.
The
it
mustache changes because it's but I mean there was an
Sometimes he has
era.
one.
Yeah,
You
there was
know,
an
like
era
a
where I
small
had
one.
the Macklemore cut too. You know, the
Yeah,
like real
didn't we
short
all, though?
sides. Yeah, I don't think you did. I
Joke.
don't remember. I don't remember.
Did you dress alike too? And you're from the same part of the
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
country.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean we're both Seattle area folk. You know, this is the one I get.
Yeah,
more
let's get to
often.
this
Let's
one.
get in the next comment.
This
Uh,
one's unsettling.
Johnny Saskatoon?
Great name.
Johnny Saskatoon. Pretty cool you were able to get Gary Ridgway there in
Mhm.
person. Would have thought he'd been a little tied up.
Yeah.
I did not know who Gary Ridgway was. I looked him up and I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, this
Well,
one's going in.
if you look at more of his pictures,
Yeah, look at his photos. There's some that
he
are.
wore glasses in his
Yeah.
trial, unfortunately
Mhm.
for me.
Uh-huh.
And
They're all over the internet.
it's
I mean, that's Dustin.
Just a Northwest icon.
It is a couple of
Mhm.
Northwest icons. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's like you went to Lens Crafters and said, give me the Green River
Give me
Killer."
the Ridgeway. Give me the Ridgeway.
It's like an episode of The Office.
Yeah.
The perp and
Yeah,
just
Dwight's
the-
thing.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because, you know, Dusty had that joke, right? About, or somebody, I don't remember.
You had a
but-
joke about having Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
when someone tells you who they think you look like, I look at that and I go, Man, I hope at least I'm a better looking version of that.
You're a better guy than him.
Well, I love that you didn't let me off the hook. You're like, no, I mean, looks wise, identical, but morally, you were better than a serial killer.
I want to see his wife, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Dustin. I guarantee you got a better looking wife than he does.
Yeah, you know what? He is older here too, so I don't know what young Gary. I mean, listen,
he's looking rough these days.
No, he's. I just saw he's 75. So.
It looks good for 75.
So that's why he looks like Dustin.
Yeah, it's tough. It's thankfully for me, he is a lesser known of the serial killers. Like I do dread a Netflix doc on him because then I might have to get rid of the stash.
But I think you can capitalize on that and turn this
Mm-hmm.
What's great? So I grew up 15 minutes away from him too. Like I'm not. It's not the Seattle.
Oh, so y'all could be related.
No, the Green River is is by the airport in Auburn, like Green River Community College. Like it's all very, very close.
Where is this?
This is in the South Seattle area.
Okay.
It's not even between where Dustin lived in Seattle. It's just a little bit north.
When I'm in Seattle, I mean, like I have to acknowledge it on stage.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that's our guy.
It was just in the news.
You know how like I was in Chattanooga, they have Reggie White. That's their guy. We've got the Green River Killer. That's our local celebrity.
Seattle have the highest serial killers per capita of any city.
Well, is it counting the ones they've caught? Because there might still be some.
That's true.
I don't know.
I have no
idea. Mean, I know Bundy spent some time there.
Yeah, Bundy.
And those are two pretty big ones.
Yeah, a couple. Maybe that's why Ridgway just doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Like
right.
He's like, he's the New York Mets.
He's the Clippers.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, man. There's just this bigger brand in town.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, that's great.
Well, hopefully for you, it stays that way.
Well, a lot's been said about Gary Ridgway.
Well, you remember when
nobody's ever said he's a bad-looking guy, Dustin? So don't sweat it.
Yes,
Dustin, you remember when Matt Damon played you on SNL?
Yes.
Oh, the Weezer sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty spot on too.
Yeah. It is. The internet. The internet loves to tell you who you look like. At least me. And I don't know if you guys get that too, but I get it a lot. I get Gary Ridgway a lot.
I like that you get it just straight up, though. They don't have to modify it at all. Because I get fat and then insert whatever.
Aaron Weber.
Yeah.
You're like, geez, man.
Yeah. No, I get like Leonardo DiCaprio let himself go. I get that. Or like fat Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Which are seem like compliments.
Yeah.
To me,
you just named the two hottest guys. You're like, guys, I get it too.
I was like, man, this guy's like a chubby Bradley Cooper, dude.
One time I got a tired Donnie Wahlberg.
Tired.
It's like the adjective and then the celebrity.
Like, all-nighter.
Tired Donnie Wahlberg. Donnie Wahlberg from The Sixth Sense, too.
Donnie Wahlberg's in The Sixth Sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? I haven't seen it in a minute.
What is he in Sixth Sense?
Is that the twist?
He's the guy at the beginning that visits Bruce Willis in his underwear in the bathroom.
I don't even think I knew that.
He lost a bunch of weight for us. Donnie Wahlberg.
How about that? How about that?
Yeah. That was a good joke if people knew that it was him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By
the way, Gary Ridgway has been married 3 times.
So, Dustin, you're much better than he is.
Yeah. Well, stay on your toes, Mel. I might remarry. I might murder you.
I can't believe Gary's not a good husband.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to because I wanted to say he was like popular among the ladies, but I could not bring myself to say it.
Yeah. Well, you said it now. Yeah. All right. I don't want to read this, guys.
Melissa, do you think he looks like Gary Ridgway?
I mean, not that picture, but yeah.
I see a little bit.
Objectively.
Yeah.
My sweet wife, because people tell me I look like some awful people, and she'll always be so, and I know I look like them, but she'll be like, oh, no, you're
Mel,
much better looking
that's
than he is.
Mel gets really nice ones, like Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
What are the other ones you
I
did?
wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do it.
She didn't chime in. Like, people tell me I look like famous actresses.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, on her best day.
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
The best story about celebrity lookalikes is this Mike White, who's the comedy writer. He's acted at a bunch of stuff. He did The White Lotus.
Yeah.
So looks a lot like Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
Brian, what's the
Nice.
story with you and him?
We look so much alike, apparently, that a friend of mine's friend, who I met a couple of times,
Yeah.
moved to LA, saw Mike White at a restaurant thought it was me. Went up to her at the
that's
restaurant.
so
Was like,
fun.
"You live here now?"
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, I see it. That guy looks like a really well-rested Brian Bates.
That's funny.
That's crazy to have celebrity look like that. They've been confused for you. That's
Yeah.
how close it is.
That is Ned Sheebley. And
Do you think people go up to?
Schneebly.
You think people go up to Ridgeway in prison? Like, do you ever seen this comedian?
Is that your kid?
He's all right. Some markets know him.
I heard about him on like Wednesday night.
Yeah. Louisville, he struggles, but
We all struggle in Louisville.
Joyce Newman. I love hearing all the dad's perspectives of being a parent, but I'd love to hear the perspective of a mom. Please have more women on the podcast.
No. Next comment.
Yeah, let's move on.
that was fun. This is like on our. That's one of the things I like about our pod because we do a weekend recap at the top, and I'm always like, I was doing the same thing that you guys are talking about. And I was like, what a bitch of laundry, and drove everyone around quite a bit, and panically checked my son's location until he got home, and. Like, oh, pretty chill.
Yeah.
I got to know a new city. I got up at 10. I went and got a pour over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treated myself to a smoothie.
I'm like, it's about smoothie time for you.
Yeah.
But
You're like-
meanwhile,
Yeah. And you're like, oh, you showered every day? Cool. Really happy for you.
Well, Mel,
Last
thank
night-
you for flying in to be here.
Yeah,
thanks-
she's here just for
thanks
this.
for
Justin just
having
shows
me.
up.
It's amazing.
appreciate it.
Well, I had last night was my first night away from the baby.
How was it?
Did you sleep well?
I slept okay. I woke up
You feel
to
guilty?
just a text from Lucy at like 3:17 a.m. that was like 3 a.m. feed was brutal.
That's a
Yeah.
guilt
There you
text.
go. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'm heading. So I left
Coming
at
home.
6. So I got back.
Yeah, you're like, no, I got up and ate at 3 too. It's a great time.
I'm at Denny's right now.
3 a.m. feeding.
Yeah. You ever get up and have some Fritos at 3? It's great.
We got the in-laws are here with
The
us. for
Sinsheimer's?
Thanksgiving. They're in town, so
Nice.
they're
Love
helping
'em.
out.
That's good.
It's great, dude.
Yeah.
Grandparents are what
Mike
a
and
cheat
Ann?
code. What a cheat code they
Love
are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, golly, awesome. The holidays are here, and they are all about connecting with loved ones. And there's no better way to do that than with a digital picture frame from Aura. Wirecutter called it the best digital photo frame, and I agree. And it's easy to see why. You can upload your favorite pictures of the family to one frame and relive all those happy moments again. We have one. We have a few, actually. I gave them to my parents. I got ones around the house. It's a great gift to give people. We have so many pictures of the new baby. That's the easiest thing, right? You don't want to talk to your family. You don't want to engage with them. Just throw a picture up, and that's as good as talking to them. You can even upload videos. This is honestly the best holiday purchase you can get someone. It's so personal. You can give it, pictures whenever you want. If that's not personal enough, upload a video message to play on the frame as soon as they plug it in. So the first thing they hear is your voice and how much you love them. It's made my Christmas shopping so much easier. So for a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code NATE at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code NATE. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so don't miss out. Terms and conditions apply.
Chris and Kate Jones. Told my wife I'd like to ask the pod's opinion on a specific comedian. She said it, and I agree that you guys all work to lift other comedians up. Not true. Would you give someone
Except each other.
an on-air negative review, or is it a matter of if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all? Certainly in text, we'll bash a lot of comics.
Yeah. Yeah, I just never want to do anything publicly
What's the point?
because there are people that I don't like their comedy, but I like them as a person. Fine. It's not a crime to be bad at comedy.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Otherwise,
man.
we'd all be elite.
Thanks, Aaron.
We'd all start out bad. Everybody, you know what I mean?
exactly.
So I don't know, and I don't want to be. You don't need to pile on. Comedians take enough. You put yourself out there on the internet. You take enough. You don't need other comics jumping in and trashing what you do.
Anybody who says I'm my own worst critic does not have a public profile.
That's a good point.
I've gotten some pretty bad critics on there that I would never say to myself.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. I don't know if y'all agree. You don't have to give examples, but for the most part, I was shocked. The comedians that I've met, the overwhelming majority are really good people.
Right.
You think you're going to run into a lot of like head cases and people that are mean and bullies or whatever, but like most people just aren't like that. I feel like doing stand up, it takes so long before people care that you do stand up that it's like impossible to have an ego. A lot of guys, or like a crazy ego, because you've just been beaten down by the world for so long.
I think there's a camaraderie that so few people do what you do that it's like you immediately connect with them and give them the benefit of the doubt almost. It's like, yeah, we have so much in common. It's like such a tight kind of kinship. So,
It's kind of like a club, like comedy.
That being said, I don't care for Brian's work.
And that's fine.
Is journalism like that, Brian? Okay, they kind of are protective of each other.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. You feel like you've, for lack of a better word, been in the trenches, therefore there's a quick bonding when you're under a high stress situation, which is what we do. High stress, you're going to bond a lot quicker.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Sometimes me, you and Dusty will be texting and we'll get on a little riffing on someone and then I'll say something and you'll ghost me and I'm like, did I go too far?
I do the same thing.
Oh. Guys, I'm sorry.
Overthink it.
I texted, so I left the podcast, this is maybe last week, 2 weeks ago. I drive home. It's usually a 25-minute drive from Zany's Comedy Club to my house. It took me almost 2 hours to get back. The traffic was so bad. And traffic's usually bad in Nashville, but it was like abnormally. It was insane. They were siphoning down the interstate into one lane. And I was so mad. You want to be mad you're alone in the car. I just want to tell somebody. So I text Brian and Dusty, like, I don't know if y'all have left yet, but I left and, I'm still on the interstate. And Brian goes, what happened? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, oh, well, I don't care. Stop telling me.
Tell someone else.
I said, I needed to tell somebody. He goes, oh, well, I don't care about this, so don't tell me. I was like, oh my, sitting in my car.
You were home?
Oh, yeah. I was having a great time. Watching a movie. I don't need to be bothered with this.
Well, you'll see this even more as you get on the road now. Your like with the kiddo, your spouse who's at home with the child is not the person when you're on the road to text about your road struggles.
You're like, this elevator sucks.
Yeah.
It's so slow.
I was going to say a bad show and you made it even more trivial. You're right. And you're like, oh, well, I'm cleaning up human and cat poop. Oh, okay.
This room's drafty.
Spot. Yeah, this room's drafty.
The baby just threw up on me.
The room's kind of got an echo. I didn't love the way it felt on stage. Oh, that's great.
That sounds awful, though. The echo is
bad.
It's
tough.
You don't
echo on stage is tough.
Deborah Elsner.
Deborah.
Didn't think as a guest host, Dustin should have made the jab about Aaron, avoiding him because of bad blood for a long time. That is Aaron's home base.
Yes,
Hope
sir.
it was a joke, but it didn't sound like it.
I love that, Deborah. Thank you. Circle the wagons.
Yeah, Dustin,
The
what's your deal?
web heads have arrived.
The web heads.
Yeah, the World Wide Web is coming for you,
Yeah.
Dustin. What'd you say about me?
You weren't on the episode, so I joked that we've had bad blood for a long time.
Okay.
I'm tempted to double down on this, but I will take a moment to be sentimental here. Aaron is the first of the Natelanders that I met.
Mm-hmm.
And because Aaron and I toured with John Christ 2017 to 2020,
2019.
We spent a lot of dates together. Aaron
On a bus.
On a bus,
Yeah.
yeah.
On a
Respect,
bus.
yeah. Aaron of the people on this podcast is the one I've spent the most time with.
Yeah.
So no, I would consider Aaron and Brian two of my closer friends in this industry.
You also officiated my wedding.
I did, yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I hit Sinsheimer so well there. I practiced Sinsheimer.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
we know
heard her
your
name.
in-laws so
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. No, I've spent a lot of time with
They're great.
your family. I know
Yeah.
your parents. I got a compliment from your
Sisters.
grandma
Mhm.
after
You did.
officiating wedding,
You
which is
did.
high praise.
That
So
was.
You
No,
made
I-
it in his book?
yeah, you're in the book.
You're in the book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my friend from college, Cole, his dad
Bought that book?
was
sorry.
reading your book, not knowing.
Based on sales, odds are no.
No, he was just reading
He
your
was
book.
at Goodwill.
Yeah.
And he
That means somebody bought it eventually.
He texted Cole and he was like, I don't know, my name's in your book, I guess, at one point.
Yeah.
And he like made
Yeah.
the connection. He's like, I had no idea he knew you.
Yeah.
It was just a guy reading your book.
That's great.
It's pretty
That's
crazy.
fun.
No, Aaron's a good friend.
I want to say this, Deborah. I love the instinct though. I keep that energy.
Yeah.
People come for me at this table. I need you. I need your support because I don't get it from over here. So I need it from you.
We have a hilarious pool story involving Aaron's wife, but we don't have to.
No, you should tell that.
No,
Do
no.
you know this
Wait,
story?
what story?
This is great.
This was
What story?
you must have been. You were touring.
Okay.
You were on the road.
Yeah.
I
I
was
think
doing
you came
Zanies.
in that night. So we've done a lot of Julys in Nashville, like family weekends when Dustin does Zanies. And so we're like, Lucy, come on out. It's a nice hotel. It's a good pool. And it was like a really nice pool with like a nice vibe and, like food and bar and
It's good
stuff.
hang.
But we do have 3 kids.
I don't think Lucy'd ever been at a pool with 3 kids.
and it was like our 3rd stop on our road trip, so the little one was, getting pretty tired of being on vacation. There was some splashing,
A
like
little fighting.
and we just had like poolside lunch. It was pretty chill, overall for our kids, and it was a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And then Dustin gets on his phone, and Lucy has tweeted, spent the day at the pool with my friend's kids. I am not ready for kids.
Oh man, here we are.
We laughed so
yeah.
hard.
She tweeted it. She didn't say it to us.
Subtweeted.
She
Yeah,
tweeted
we
it.
just like died.
And
We
I'm like,
rolled
Lucy, I follow you.
over. We were like, well, if anything, Lucy, you got to know what 3's like.
Yeah.
And this is what it's like.
Well, you thought it was a pretty normal day, right?
It was actually a good day.
No,
one of
that
those
was a good day.
I was like, you should have seen us back at the hotel room.
And we've
Yeah.
since gone
We
in
got back
pool
to the
with
hotel
her.
room and we
Yep.
didn't want to have kids,
So then, we've done a lot of pool time with Lucy.
That is funny. When was that? Was it a few years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think you
About-
showed up at the
about-
show that night.
I think
Oh,
she was,
okay.
I think she was pregnant at the time. I think she was
No,
about
that was
6
the
months.
second.
I
yeah,
know.
sorry. I'm being all practical. But yeah, it's fun.
This next comment was a nice segue from the last one.
I agree. I'm good.
And I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this.
Chase Keogh.
Keo.
The South doesn't get sarcasm, but it comes with a Pacific Northwest passive-aggressive tint to everything. Which, I thought that was good coming off
Do
of
you guys think that's true that the South doesn't get sarcasm?
As if we're so dumb that we can't understand irony. Like
I didn't say it, man. Why you? I don't know.
You
I'm
didn't
not from
get
the
sarcasm
South.
just now.
No, but the way you attacked me, I didn't have anything to do with this.
I don't know. I mean, since I'm in the South, maybe I can't compare it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think I get sarcasm.
Yeah.
Do you find that the sense of humors around the country are that different?
No, I do
Maybe
not.
like New York, Boston, there's a little more like
Edge.
jabbing people,
Yeah.
but like it's not like we don't get what sarcasm is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chase, we shut that down quick. Ladies and gentlemen,
There he is.
the namesake
Ooh.
of the Nateland podcast and the host, Nate Bargatze, is in the
Thanks.
building. What's going on,
Do we
Nate?
clap?
I'll let
What's
you
up?
take it from
Hey,
here.
Good to see
Hey,
you,
buddy.
guys. Yeah, dude. It was like there's traffic right in front.
You've been there the whole time?
I've been there for hours.
Just get out of your car.
No, it's. I'm gonna go down a little bit. All right. So
Make yourself at home.
No, it's. I was running behind, and so there's traffic, and it's right here. Like so, right when you pull in. So when you get in traffic where there's just one car. If I was one car up, I could have parked.
Yeah.
So it was an extra 5 minutes because there's whatever's going on in front of Zanies is the most traffic that's ever
It is,
existed.
yeah.
And so no one's moving. And I'm just like, and that guy let a guy in, which was very nice, but very frustrating because you're, it's like if he knew my situation,
Right.
I don't think he would have let that guy. And I could have got to the podcast.
And
5
he
minutes
should have
quicker.
known.
He should have known. I could have rolled the windows and said, excuse me.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to get right there.
I have a podcast.
Yeah.
Which that's what everybody wants to hear.
Do you know who I
Did
am?
you point to the mural
Yeah.
with your face?
I go, when you get around,
Mhm.
because it was on the wrong side.
Yeah.
I go, when you get around, look at the face.
Yeah.
I go, that guy has a
That's
podcast.
John Christ.
Yeah. I could have just said I'm John Christ.
Yeah.
Could be like, look, that's me.
That's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
He flips you off.
we're here.
Backs
He's like,
into
I love your
car.
videos.
All right. Hunter Ballou. Dustin said the South doesn't really win championships anymore. The SEC has won 13 of the last 18 natties. Classic Californian thinking he knows
I
everything.
love the energy they're
Yeah.
coming with today.
I'll tell you, there are some
Ooh.
Natelanders that don't like me, and that's okay.
I wanted
get
you to
that.
come back just
Yeah.
so we could read this comment.
Yeah.
Because I missed it when he said
What
it in
do
real
you have
time.
to say for
Yeah.
yourself?
First off, I'm not a Californian. Classic Southerner to assume that I'm from California just because I live there.
Classic Seattlean to think we care about the difference.
Right. Classic Southerner to only care about the South. Yeah. There's the South and whatever the rest of it is.
Well,
That's
what
the
was
South
the-
and Yankees.
That's true.
Yeah.
But y'all came on pretty late as
Yeah.
That's
as
true.
America.
Yeah,
You were,
we had a
y'all-
lot going on.
Yeah.
We were already
Yeah.
moving and
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, I have beef with Dustin in general about sports because he loves to complain on Twitter about his college football team that went undefeated last year in the national championship
Yeah.
and his Seahawks, which are playoff bound every year.
Right.
While I'm
Right.
a Vandy and a Titans fan.
I think being in the South and being a Vandy fan is pretty tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough. Not this year. It's been. I mean, the Alabama
fun.
one is the best day in
I
Vanderbilt
met
history.
Diego Pavia.
Did you really?
We were at the UFC fight. The
Amazing.
John Jones UFC
Oh,
fight.
man.
Yeah.
He was there?
Yeah. I had to go to New York that day. And so it just kind of worked out. And I was like, oh man, this fight. So we went to the fight and I was like just in like this hospitality suite and I was like staring at him. And I was like, dude, is that, because you're like out of context. Is that
Yeah.
a 16-year-old dude I'm happy about? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 80 years older than he is. But yeah, he was awesome. Asked for a picture. I was like, asked him
Yeah.
for a picture. Got his
That's
number.
awesome.
Told him I'd take him golfing. A little too much. I
Of
probably
all the
went too-
celebrities
yeah.
there.
out of all the, I was
Excuse
like,
me, Mr. Trump, out of the way.
I go, Diego. Yeah. Once I got past everybody.
That's great.
Well, if it makes you feeling better, about 3 weeks ago, Hunter posted, Vandy will never beat Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Hunter said that.
Yeah, and we read his
Oh.
comment the week after.
Well,
Oh.
I'll defend this comment. What I mean by this is, as a huge sports fan and as somebody originally was on the path of being a sports writer, big sports guy, love it. We talk about it, the stuff
Yeah.
all the
Mhm.
time.
Yep.
I particularly the way that outsiders view the SEC is like the SEC is clearly the best football conference and has been over the last 20 years, but it's not because of the SEC. It's because of Nick Saban. Like the majority of those championships were Nick Saban championships.
Yeah, but if they weren't, there was LSU, it was Georgia.
Right,
it was,
right.
Kirby
But if
Auburn.
there isn't Nick Saban in those, Ohio State wins some, Oregon wins some. It's not an SEC
Yeah,
dynasty.
I don't know if Oregon wins any, but
I hope not. I hate
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yeah.
But they did beat Oregon in a national champ. Like
Yeah.
Oregon, I think
Auburn
they
beat
lost to Ohio
Georgia.
State actually.
yeah,
So,
Auburn beat. It would be Ohio State. It
Yeah.
would be, and Ohio State came in,
yeah.
but it would be just that. But I think,
Right.
Yeah,
It's-
it's Ohio State, Michigan, right,
Right.
and the SEC.
Well, there were Oklahoma would have
Yeah,
won
Clemson
more,
for a
then they-
while.
Clemson for a while.
But
Notre
that's the
Dame
South.
lost
I get the point of your-
Washington could have squeaked one win.
Yeah.
We were in the we've been in the college football playoff twice, like it wasn't, and we lost to Saban. We don't, like, as an outsider who doesn't really care to, I mean, we're Big Ten now. Conferences don't mean anything to us. Like we don't view it like, dude, the SEC is so good. It's like Nick Saban is the greatest coach
That
of all
is
time.
pretty.
It is, but it's
top to
so
bottom,
top
pretty
What's
heavy.
the point of your
No,
argument?
bottom.
You're like going, the Lakers weren't that good. It was Kobe was good. That's
no.
basically what you're
That's
saying.
like saying the AFC East is so dominant. You're like, no. The Patriots were so dominant. Like it wasn't, as an outsider, again, as the person who doesn't live in the South, the SEC is great and I would say is the best football conference. I mean, it might be the Big Ten now because they acquired all those schools, but like we'll see. But we don't view it as like the SEC was so good.
Well,
we
it's not the Big Ten, but it's the
the Big Ten now.
It's still not, and so it's.
You think the SEC is?
Yes,
The SEC has like is very top heavy.
the top heavy counts towards it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. If you're saying the AFC East would have been, I don't think the saying would be they're good because of them. You would say they're bad And the only reason this team's good is because they're in a bad conference.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the other ones are top heavy, because if you go, Oregon's in a conference that doesn't matter, so they're the best. But if they had to go through the schedule of the SEC,
3 of the top 4 are Big Ten schools.
But if they had to go through the schedule of the SEC, what was the top 4? Like the scheduling is always going to be.
I mean, there's
crazy.
There's some bad SEC schools.
We got
and SEC likes to do a real late season bad game too. Like you guys, there's always like someone where you guys play like in the middle of the like.
It's like when Georgia played TCU. I was at the game, championship game, right?
Mhm.
TCU gets through and they play Georgia. Georgia beats them by 60.
right.
It looked like it looked like they were playing Wichita
Right.
or something. So
Yeah.
that was the best
Yeah.
the thing that they could get out of the other thing was TCU. In Georgia, it looks like they shouldn't be allowed to play with each other. So that's why people say the SEC. Like that's
Which I get.
insane. Even when if Oregon gets in, Ohio State can do it. But if like the Oregons get in or some of these other schools, if they play TCU, it's going to be a good game. But Georgia played them, and it looked like it was a professional team playing a non-professional team.
Right.
In the championship, they beat everybody to
Right.
go through the top.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Again, I'm telling you pure outsider perspective, not someone who lives in the South.
South Carolina, always a problem.
South Carolina.
They are. They're 8.
Yeah,
I mean,
South
South Carolina's
Carolina's
really
eight.
good.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
South Carolina is a team that always goes to a
If you went through a
bowl.
strength of schedule,
but
though,
they're
it would
right,
be-
but they're one right above Arizona State.
who plays absolutely nobody.
See, this is what the SEC does.
I know,
This
but
is what they do. You
that-
just
I
name big
get that it's
schools that you've
frustrating.
heard of.
I get it.
Let's
Let's look at who
I get
Arizona
that's
State's
frustrating.
played. I mean, they just knocked out undefeated BYU at the time.
So now go and tell me why BYU doesn't matter. and
They
why
matter. They matter.
Kansas
I'm
State
saying
doesn't matter.
That's one really good win.
They matter. That's their game that matters.
I-
Them and Utah
I
are the
s-
games that matter.
The original acknowledgement of this was me saying the SEC is the best football conference.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, as an outsider and as someone who went to, and cheers for a very good football program, historically a great football program.
Yeah.
We don't view the SEC as dominant. We view Alabama as dominant. Like Georgia made a run, and just like Clemson made a run, and Ohio State
Georgia
has been
did way more than Clemson.
I mean, I think they both won 2 national titles, right?
Georgia is in the thick of a run. They're in the middle of it.
I mean, Clemson's good too.
No.
Clemson's going to get in the playoff.
But Clemson is completely fallen off. Georgia
Sure.
is not losing to.
Yeah.
Like,
but if
different-
Clemson was in the SAC, you'd be like, dude, but they got to go through Clemson. This is what I'm saying. It's just based on association.
Yeah, but no one's scared of Clemson like the SEC.
I don't think that's true.
Not like,
You think anyone's scared of Alabama this year?
No, but I mean, and people have down years. I understand Alabama wasn't good for a very long time.
Yeah, they got a Washington coach, and now they're bad.
even when one of the that's funny. Even when the one of your other ones are up, it's like then it's Georgia's league, or it's the same teams. It's Ohio State, it's Alabama, Georgia. Tennessee hasn't been there for a while. Maybe they're going to go up there and stay a little bit, and then that's
Melissa, you care to counter?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at what is half the top 10 Big Ten schools. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how the playoffs shake out.
Yeah.
I'll say this to concede something. Saban did feel like kind of a singularly dominant person.
Yeah.
That him leaving kind of feels like now there are all kinds of possibilities.
Totally.
Yeah, a
That
lot of stuff is open.
Yeah.
it's very fun. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah,
when
so
the
you don't
playoffs
know
start.
which SEC team will
Yeah.
win this year.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to win
That's
this year.
fun.
I mean,
You
maybe
know?
Georgia. Listen, if they
Maybe
go,
Georgia.
if an SEC, I mean, what does Georgia have? 2 losses?
Yeah,
Georgia got
what are their
smoked
losses?
by Alabama.
Yeah.
They lost to Alabama.
who lost to
and then
Vandy?
They might have lost to
Alabama and Ole
Kentucky,
Miss.
or who
They lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Ole Miss was not a good loss.
This
Ole
is
Miss
what they do. The SC cannibalizes itself. They just no, they don't. You
Well,
say,
they do, but they kinda-
they do.
but
Yeah,
they-
cannibalize themselves.
But they do, and they beat Clemson 34-3. But they do cannibalize
Yeah.
themselves in a way. Like
Last
look how many people are ranked. That was
Yeah.
like Tennessee's ranked. Ole Miss 1, 2, 3, 4. So they played number 4, number 1, number 16, and number 7. That's 4 top 16 teams. And 14, 5. They played 5 of their games were teams in the top, top 15. What is Washington?
Oh, Washington's garbage this year, but it's because we lost our
Oregon?
whole program. Oregon's number 1.
Okay,
undefeated, beat Ohio State.
Okay, but let's see how many they've played in the if you went to the strength of schedule. So they have number 2, so 20.
Boise
they have 2 teams.
No. Boise State is ranked. That's wrong.
Yeah,
Boise State's like 12.
That's their ranks when they
sorry.
play.
Yeah. They beat the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Barely.
Insane.
Yeah.
And then Boise State now ranked, and everybody would always say Boise State's obviously a top team. And so they have, at the time
I'm pretty sure that guy's going to win the Heisman.
That's right.
They literally have the Heisman winner.
That
but
means
yeah,
he's the best.
But they're in the
team.
Northwest because they're not cannibalizing themselves.
Well, I don't.
Because if Boise State were in the SEC,
do you think Travis Hunter could win the Heisman? Do you think Colorado is the SEC? Do you think they're Oregon? Do you think Colorado could beat Oregon? No.
Could Colorado beat Oregon? No.
Okay,
but I'm not arguing for Colorado.
But you're arguing for Boise State because that guy's going to win the Heisman.
No, I'm arguing that they are a good program and have historically won bowl games.
Yeah,
and
no one's
have
arguing.
huge upsets.
I agree with that.
And but when you're saying that's a nothing win for Oregon, I'm not here to defend Oregon. I hate Oregon.
No, Oregon.
I hate Oregon with everything in my soul.
Oregon snuck by that, and I think it's a big win because they weren't ranked at the time, so that's good.
You're saying
I'm talking positive about, I think
Oregon has beat the number 2 team. There's no such thing as a better win than that.
It's crazy.
Well, no, Vandy beat the number 1 team.
Yeah,
so.
Vandy beat. Yeah, that is true. Vandy beat number 1.
That's true.
Listen, I'm rooting for Vandy.
Through. He takes a little bit to come around, but he's going to get one in on you.
I already said you guys were the best.
And
it's like there has to be.
Good
That's
job,
what
Brian.
I don't. SEC is the only conference that cheers for itself.
That's right.
And that is hilarious. That's so funny to me. Like, great.
We're proud.
I love that.
It just means more.
I think you're just happy to be home. You're just like, I don't know, you feel like in the South, I think we're made fun of a lot. You've already made fun of us.
How have I made fun of you?
No,
what did I say?
Even the joke already. Who just showed up in America 3 months ago.
Washington?
Yeah. So your state's named after our first president.
Yeah.
That's how late y'all were to the game. We're dumb. By the way, we're the only ones that did any of this.
Nobody here said dumb.
We're talking about
in general.
No,
in general, that's what.
But this is what you're doing. This is what the South does, and I love Southern pride. But you're pointing at me saying, "You guys,
okay,
you do this." So you're pointing at us saying, "You guys."
When
like I know when you called you dumb.
When someone says a comic goes, "I told that joke in," they always say the South.
Yeah,
I told that joke in Alabama, and let me tell you what they did.
And they said,
yeah. It's there's a.
Well, I mean, would we remember your impersonation of me on here?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're getting. I think you're hearing a lot of it tonight.
Yeah.
This is my very favorite thing about the South is the Southern pride, and I love a lot of what the pride of the Southern football is. A lot of these cities don't have pro teams too, so that's the way of life. That's great,
and we don't just give up.
Right.
So then when the pro teams come, we don't just bail on.
Right. And when I listen, the first 10 minutes of this, I was gushing about cities I love in the South. Big fan.
He was.
Yeah. Well, in the West Coast,
I'll never listen to it. So
well, the West Coast,
I'm concerned.
Yeah, we show up on time to things here.
That's crazy.
We say
I'll just go now.
We were told 3:30 arrive for 4 o'clock here.
That's to make sure.
Have you seen the traffic out there?
SEC is the best conference. I know.
What if I told you I've been sitting in the car for an hour?
Yeah. You're like, have they left yet?
No, I've been here.
You're waiting to see us leave.
Wait. No, I just at a big move. I just sit and wait in the car.
The people who don't like me on this podcast, this will not make them like me more.
I think
now they're gonna hate me.
I think they're going to respect you for standing your
Melissa
ground.
was joking. We're joking.
And I'll say this:
you
you're all going to feel pretty silly when Notre Dame wins.
There we go.
I'm pulling for Notre Dame.
We're not even in a conference.
Talk about strength of conference.
There you go.
Yeah. You guys really rolled Army.
Army was undefeated.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, Army and Indiana got exposed a little bit this weekend.
Yeah. Guys, college football's fun. If you're not into it, sorry about the last 5 minutes, but get into it because it's a good time.
This is
like college on the YouTube. It'll say college football, so you could just skip it.
Yeah. This kills me. This is like, as a Washington guy, it kills me that I have to kind of defend Oregon. Because I hate Oregon with everything that is in my guts.
Yeah.
But there is part of me that needs them to be like, I'm like, at least I want you to lose the national championship by 1 point. That's what I need.
Well,
so they're like, at least it's competitive.
They beat Boise by 1 point.
Hey, Boise's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they, you need that, but the reverse. I always liked Oregon. I always thought, like, because sometimes as a Vandy fan, you think, well, if we ever quit football, who are we going to become a fan of?
Yeah.
And I always thought, I could maybe, Tennessee we just couldn't do.
Right.
I was like Florida. I always liked Florida a little bit, but I always liked Oregon.
Yeah.
I know you don't like it, but it's like I like that. I like the uniforms. I thought I wish Vandy would do
Uniforms
stuff like
are
that.
cool.
The uniforms are cool.
Yeah.
And now that you can pay players, Nike, it's just an unlimited fun.
Yeah.
And my dad is an Oregon fan, so I won't fully commiserate if they win.
Yeah.
I'll be happy for him because I like my dad.
And
cool,
he loves
man.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, believe it or not, people outside of the South love their families.
That's crazy.
We are learning a lot.
I know that's your big
Because we're learning so much. Do y'all get together at every protest?
Do you want to take over?
No, you just
All right.
yeah, you guys will see you at the rally.
I love it.
2 more. Malia Tate. I love Melissa and hearing her awesome laugh. I bet that's one of the reasons Dustin fell in love with that girl. Comedians love a good laugh.
It's true. You're a good
It's
laugher.
true. You're a good laugher.
Well, thanks.
Someone said you sound like Rachel McAdams.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's nice.
it's fun.
Look and sound. Congrats.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
I
a lot nicer
love
than
her.
the internet is to me.
Let's get to a Southerner, Mr. Arkansas. Dustin laughs like he left the cap locks on, and every ha is double spaced.
Well, you made
Double
it. Now he's
space.
walked away.
Now I'm going to be a
Now he's
little,
embarrassed.
Yeah.
I do allow
That's going to be sad.
It's great.
Yeah. Well, people, that is a funny comment when people don't like your laugh.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
It's a natural thing.
You
Sorry,
know.
it's just me at my happiest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My bad.
Well, I'll stop experiencing joy. I'll push that down.
Change your laugh.
Getting some holiday shopping done this weekend? Pick up some touchdowns. They're on sale at DraftKings Sportsbooks. DraftKings has Doorbuster, Profit Boost, and Bet 1. Get 1 promotions on all types of touchdown bets. If you'd bet on the Seahawks this weekend, you would have won. Big win over Cardinals. Bet on the Titans. We won. Big win. Big win. Bet on DraftKings. Bet on Notre Dame.
There you
would
go.
have won.
That's right.
Who they play this week?
And we got USC.
USC. And the
big
Seahawks, who they play?
Jets at the Jets.
At the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jets, I think the Seahawks are 3-point favorites.
Sure. Wow.
And so grab some TDs with DraftKings Sportsbooks.
Yeah.
They're on sale from Thanksgiving through Cyber Monday. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Nateland to opt in. That's code Nateland only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. 1 bonus bet per customer based on amount of initial touchdown bet and expires 168 hours after issuance. 1 single-use boost per customer that only applies to winnings. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos for additional terms and responsible gaming resources.
All right. Do you want to talk about your week or do you want to save that?
No, yeah, we can talk about it. So I shot a Christmas special.
So cool.
And so it's a variety show. It's kind of an old school variety show. And so it's the Bargatze Nashville Christmas. I'm hosting it. We did some, wrote a monologue, went out and did, it was a mix where it feels like it's stand up, but it's also hosting. And it was the most fun I've ever had. Honestly.
Oh, wow.
I cannot wait for it to come out. I think you will, I hope that you will see what we're trying to do at Nateland, why I'm always end up being late and stuff like that. But you can see that it is going to something. I think this is a show that comes out December 19th, CBS. You can sit there with your entire family. Y'all could go just enjoy this show. Noah Kahan's on it, Darius Rucker, Carrie Underwood, because I think it's going to be announced. She was a surprise that night, but I believe we'll have her announcing the commercials for it.
So fun.
But it's Streeter and Mikey who wrote the Washington sketch. They wrote it, and Lorne Michaels produced it. So it's got exactly what I want Nateland to be, like with movies and with everything. And dude, it was so fun. Yeah. I got hit up so much afterwards, just the next day, of people just like buzzing about it. Like they just were like, they're like, I can't stop thinking about last night, because it was just something I don't think people seen. Probably a mix of people being in Nashville and like they were getting to see the production of kind of how SNL work, where we, this stuff's rolling in and out and all that kind of stuff. But it was it was just very special. It was, I mean, it was just kind of buzzing, just floating like the next day. Like, just, I hope it comes off as what it came off in that room. Cause it was a magical thing. And, so December 19th, that can't come soon enough. I mean,
That's so
great.
cool.
Yeah, it was. And for how long? It was like, we've been planning that for like 6 months. When it comes out, you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know all this stuff. But it was, I don't think there's anything like this not in forever, anything like this on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, SNL would be the closest.
Right.
But this is the mix of live sketch and music, and it's all Christmas themed. And I mean, we have some sketches that I think are gonna pop and be really, really good, and some nice sketches. Maybe have a sketch with a idea of Washington idea, not Washington,
Jefferson.
Jefferson, yeah. Which I think I saw someone said it's crazy that I have that picture up. They were like saying that it was crazy that I have a picture of myself. You're like, but it's someone they.
Well, this whole room is.
It's also
Well, the whole room is that.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's
that's
also called the Nateland podcast.
Yeah. And but I like that's what sent him over the edge. I was like, well, that's the least. Was it Dusty? Yeah. I was like, I feel like that's the least.
Funny,
That's like a
That's super cool.
sketch.
Yeah.
But
it's so old school. It's like a throwback. It's like, the old school variety shows. It's so fun.
Yeah. I'm very, 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 I can't wait.
Yeah,
So then,
awesome.
So December 19th, and then
I watched the match on TNT.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was so, you know what? It was so funny. It was very funny.
Don't say it in the microphone. You turned your head and you were off. Like I heard it. I mean, I would love the people at home to hear you once say something nice about it.
Golly. It is Nateland, the whole show.
Yeah.
Could you stare at the Washington painting while you
Sorry,
You got to take it home tonight. Man.
Let's start with
I'm making
compliment again.
put it in the nursery?
For those that didn't hear, it's so funny, and I really enjoyed
man.
it.
I appreciate it, man. You don't ever say stuff like that,
Yeah.
so I know it's true.
Well, yeah,
I've not watched it yet. I was nervous to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a couple clips that were like just popped up in my feed, like the one of you guys making fun of Barkley for being all sweaty.
Yeah.
What
It was. I need to see it because I was
as a viewer. You guys came off, even though you and Blake got eliminated immediately, and by far had the worst day.
Yeah.
Playing golf. You were very funny. Blake Griffin is very funny.
He's
I had
very
no
funny.
idea.
Very funny.
And then his relationship with Charles Barkley made the whole thing funny.
Yeah.
And then the next round, which I wasn't even going to watch it when you weren't on there, but when you were on there on the set for Barkley's round, and that was very funny.
Yeah. Blake's obviously close to Barkley, very close to Gretzky, and so it was. It was. They asked us, so we lost in that first one. It's hard. Golf is like you got to be focused, and there was just so many. You're literally playing for $1 million, so like just add that's on the table. But then it's like I'm trying to be funny, like because you're thinking like people are watching this. So if if we're all just serious, well, not everybody's serious, but if you're all just serious, no one wants to watch who can shoot an 87 the best.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to be funny. So me and Blake just really hit it off. And then we just played bad, but I thought we did good with making jokes. And then we went up and sat in the booth, and then we were good. And after that, they were like, "Hey, will y'all do the next?" They kept asking us to stay.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we ended up staying up until the Gretzky. If people watch, but like the finals, you know.
And Phelps, right?
Phelps, yeah. So we were not there for that.
Just Michael Phelps and Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Michael Phelps is
Amazing.
the afterthought of the group.
It wasn't after that. I was going to maybe not say it.
I know.
Yeah. The names you just keep saying are crazy.
I know, but I was maybe not going to say it because I thought maybe if someone's watching, they could, be excited. We won't tell you who won. Did you already say who won?
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, we won't talk about a
Yeah.
show that's already aired, but
it already aired. But it was
Michael Phelps, I actually felt a little sorry for.
Wow.
It's funny that the guy from Nateland who gets picked up feels sorry for the greatest athlete of all time. He was a great golfer, but personality-wise, that's not his thing.
Is having a personality.
Yeah.
That was so
The
cool.
riffing
That was
and
so
the joking.
subtly one of the meanest things. Yeah, personality's not his thing. I get what you mean.
He's
not,
a quiet guy. I assume.
Personality's not his thing.
Yeah.
He's quiet. He's reserved.
I get
Everyone
what-
else
yeah.
is riffing, having a
mean,
great time.
Great athlete. He
Yeah.
struggles with who he is as a person.
Yeah. No, but like Chuck is funny on TNT, and Blake Griffin was like doing spots at
He
the
did.
Laugh
Yeah,
Factory
he did
for a while.
stand-up.
Yeah, he was doing stand
I
up.
get what
He's just super
I get what
funny.
you're saying though. He's
Yeah.
he's
He
not
was just
as-
quiet and reserved. I could tell that's not his thing.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's funny because he kept saying, "Yeah, we want to show our personalities out here, not just basically what you just said." But Mark Wahlberg wasn't joking. He's just very intense, like you think Mark Wahlberg's
He's
going to be.
yeah. No, the first match we played against Phelps and Wahlberg, it's like me and Blake, and then they're very serious.
Yeah.
They
And
want to win.
so
Mhm.
and then when so we would talk in their ear. Well, Wahlberg was like, they keep talking in my ear when I'm swinging, so you would take the AirPods out, and you're like, well, I think that's the point,
He wanted
But
to
it's
win.
like, it's a weird balance to be like, well, they're also competing for a lot of money.
Yeah.
And these guys, they want to win. Not saying I wouldn't want to win, but I was just kind of like, I know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So I need to try to be. I didn't want to come off like mean. Everybody thinks I'm mean here, but he was like trying to be ribbon, like
He thinks you're
it's like
actually mean.
it's like dudes hanging out. Like that's what it felt like. It was just like trashing each other. But we hung out afterwards the whole time. I mean, dude, it was I came close with Gretzky, Blake,
It's crazy.
Charles.
nice.
It was.
Have you heard of King Griffey Jr.?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was there.
Amazing.
I wasn't going to bring it up. It's too close to home.
yeah, King Griffey.
Yeah. Just everyone that
Yeah.
you loved.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think. I mean, I've not watched it yet, but I would have. I thought when we were there, I was like, I thought it felt fun because those things can. The problem with a lot of times when they do stuff like that, there's no personality. So when you have no personality in there and you're trying to make the first one with Tiger and Phil,
Yeah.
well, Tiger doesn't have the greatest personality.
Yeah.
Like as far as like, he's the best and I love him, but he's not going to be, I want to go watch this guy be fun. He's not the
Right.
most fun
Yeah.
forever, where Phil Mickelson was.
Mhm.
He's a lot more fun. So Phil has to kind of carry that
Right.
first one, and you kind of need more than, you can't just throw it all on one dude.
Mm.
So if you would have you need a mix, and
Like
I
a
think they did a
duo,
good job.
kinda.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you need a mix. And so once me and Blake lost, then we were just sitting up there with them, and then I think it was like an overrunning, like, or overlaying of just some being funny and all that stuff.
I was just thinking about how the producers, like, if you would have showed up not funny but wanting to win,
Yeah.
they'd be like, "Dude, we did not cast this guy for that reason."
Well, they didn't even. We weren't even supposed to be in the booth. We were going to maybe go up there for a second, and we
Yeah.
just went up there, and they liked us up there. That they
took
kept
off.
asking
Yeah.
us to stay.
They're like, we lost two of the funny ones. We need
Yeah.
these guys to talk
Smart.
because Wahlberg
Yeah.
keeps taking his ear out.
He won't listen.
And Bill Murray, 74 years old, great golfer.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's such a great sleep, but he's pretty reserved also.
yeah, he is. He is reserved.
Felt like you were carrying a
Did
show
they
out
show
there.
any? Did they show me saying something about like he didn't say my name or something like that?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's interesting. There was a thing I had with him where I asked him a question about Lost in Translation. So Lost in Translation, in that movie, it shows him doing he hits a golf ball, a drive. And so I always loved the way he warmed up that movie. He turned his back to the hole and he does his practice swing, and then he turns to the ball and then he hits like a perfect drive. And so I asked him about that. And then Trevor Immelman is a golfer. So I asked Bill Murray that. I didn't say Bill Murray didn't know me. And then I asked Bill Murray that. And then Bill goes, well, Trevor, and he answered it like Trevor asked it. And so then I was like joking, like, I was like, he won't acknowledge me. And like, cause there was like another thing where I didn't. And then so I made a joke again later, and he was like, Nate, and I think it was frustrated. And I was like, well, I was just joking.
Yeah,
but it was like,
right.
it was just funny how like you just I couldn't get him to acknowledge me. And you're like, out of all, I thought, the other kind of comedian.
Yeah. You're like, you Saturday Night Live? You were on it? I
met Steve Martin. I got, you go a little bit where you're like, all right, I'm excited to meet the old time guys. Seem to like me, and then so then I go. Bill Murray's just he's doing his own thing, but he's a guy that does his own thing. Yeah, that's his existence is doing
kind of
his
always has been
own thing. But I thought that's a good question.
Yeah,
and then he gave it to Trevor Immelman. He goes, "It's great." He goes, "Great question, Trevor." He goes, and then answered it, and I was like, "All right." But he said that on that. If you've seen Lost in Translation, when he hits that ball, that was the first shot. That was the first and only shot.
Cool. Wow.
Is what he said. The director goes, "Let's do one more." He goes, "You ain't getting better than that." And it was like a perfect shot. So that was fun.
Can you imagine if I got cast in that movie?
I just no.
Day two.
Yeah, I think it's hard to imagine.
Yeah. Your weekend stories are wild. Yeah,
it's hard what
to imagine.
Yeah,
just me in general.
Getting even the possibility of talking about you being cast in it. Yeah. So you're asking me to jump a lot of hoops, all right? Much less you golfing.
What are you being cast as in this?
In the match?
Yeah.
They go.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Lost in Translation.
Yeah.
I was.
By the way, just as far away as him being cast in the match, both equally.
Are you writing this down?
Yeah.
I want you to capture all this. Nicest guy in stand up.
It was a good,
Are you typing?
The Washington Post is doing the kind of a day in the life with me. And Travis.
This is it.
So this is the day in the life.
I'm really glad we didn't do our weekend recaps close to yours.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I was hanging out with Bill Murray, and then he didn't. And my stories is like, well, I had a late show in Raleigh where 4 tables tried not to pay.
That's crazy. That's more fun, though. That's fun to listen. That's fun to talk about. Mine's not,
I liked it.
Well, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Aaron Weber here. We recently moved, and buying a house is such a big purchase. So, of course, we were saving up, building our credit to make the move. Now on top of a new house, it's the holidays. It never ends. But with the Chime Secure Credit Builder Visa card, you can still make financial progress during the holidays. Start building credit with your holiday purchases and regular on-time payments, all with no annual fees, interest, or credit checks at chime.com/Nate. Building your credit opens up more opportunities like family vacations, lower rates on loans, and like me, buying a new house. The Chime Credit Builder Visa card has no annual fees, interest, or credit check to Apple. It's amazing because you can build your credit using your own money. Another fun fact about Chime Credit Builder, you can get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. On top of that, they have over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. Is there anything worse than paying $7 to use an ATM somewhere? It's the absolute worst. They have over 50,000 ATMs where you don't have to do that. That's more than 3 national banks combined. Turn your holiday purchases into steps towards your financial goals with Chime Secure Credit Card. Get started today at chime.com/Nate. That's chime.com/Nate. One more time. Chime feels like progress. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Chime checking account and qualifying direct deposit required to apply. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023.
All right. Well, this week, it's the busiest travel weekend of the year, so we thought it'd be a good time to talk about road trips. Yes, Thanksgiving. Yep.
Over Christmas. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, why do you think more people travel?
Because you got to go to your family.
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
The secular holiday. Remember?
Yeah, I still don't know what secular means.
It was a big moment.
Non-religious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Aaron said it's a secular holiday, and Nate pounced on the word secular. And do you use that around the Thanksgiving table?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard it now being used, but
Mhm.
I think people do it because they know that I don't know what it is, and they heard you do it.
Yeah.
So even if it's someone that I think might have no connection of me and you, I bet Aaron got a hold of them.
They're sticking it to
Yeah.
you.
Said, hey,
Yeah.
some reason start talking about
Yeah.
secular a lot.
Planning the
Yeah.
Christmas special, I bet that word was used a lot
Yeah.
for stuff.
I don't remember. I don't think so. You know,
Okay.
I'm
On the
surprised-
Gregorian calendar.
Yeah, I'm surprised you. And maybe this is a southern thing versus where it was in our households growing up. Not mine because I didn't grow up in a Christian house, but like when I started going to church, that's when it would come. You would use it in culture. You'd be like,
90s,
oh, is that
2000s.
Christian or is
Yeah.
that secular? Is that a
Yeah.
like? And there you'd have Switchfoot where we're like, we don't know.
Mm.
yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun
John
to live on the
Christ.
edge.
POD. You're like, but it's like it kind of
It's on the radio.
is, you know. But I think they might drink.
Yeah.
No,
I was
John
in-
Christ is
I
not
was
even close.
in-
That's
Yeah, I was
very
gonna
much.
say-
Yeah.
I was
I'll
in
retract that.
Texas in the 90s, North
Yeah.
Texas,
Yeah.
like Dallas, north of Dallas.
It's your first
And-
marriage. Yes, go ahead.
Good Southern girl here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else was going on back then?
Yeah.
I was 12.
Yeah.
But we talked a lot in our Baptist church about
Small Baptist church, yeah.
secular music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It had a very negative
That
connotation.
secular was a very bad word.
You
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
listen to it?
No, you had to listen to Christian.
Mm.
Yeah.
A lot of
music.
jars of clay.
Yeah, Christian
so
concerts.
I listen to Jars of Clay.
Great. Liked it.
Yeah. No, I mean it was
Jars of Clay was
kinda
so big.
moment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Youth group in the 90s.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when they got real big, like Jars of Clay was a Christian band, but crossed over into the secular
The
radio.
mainstream.
And you
Yeah,
Great
like
like that.
DC Talk.
Mhm.
Like there
Yeah.
was the
Mhm.
Christian music
Definitely went
in the
to
90s was
DC
actually
Talk.
pretty.
Yeah.
Concert.
Reliant
Yeah.
K came out
Yeah.
early
Reliant K was
2000s. Yeah. It's
fun.
great. There was
What does
some-
DC stand for? I forgot.
Ooh,
It's
I
something
don't
fun
know.
like
District
Don't
Columbia.
cuss.
Don't
yeah.
cuss.
I mean, it's something
Don't
like
cuss talk. That works.
Don't cuss talk.
Now I gotta know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll look it
Formed at Liberty.
We'll
That
look it
checks
up.
out.
I don't know.
Liberty
if people
University?
Need to listen to us looking it up.
Yeah.
Well, he'll find it while
I'm saying y'all talk.
Yeah,
while
I
look.
know. That's
Oh,
what
man.
Yeah.
I caught the tail
Yeah.
end of it because when I started going to church was like 99, 2000.
Yeah.
But like that
Yeah.
was the peak of
decent
Jars.
Christian talk.
Oh. that's
Okay, I
nice.
knew it was
Yeah.
something fun.
Oh, decent
Decent Christian talk.
Yeah.
Huh.
We had a lot of lock-ins when they
I-
were
yeah.
blasting DC Talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a funny special title. Decent Christian talk.
Decent Christian
Yeah.
talk.
Anyway, road trips. So
Road trips.
about 72 million Americans are hitting the road this weekend. Gas prices in Nashville, $2.80 average. San Diego, $4.56.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
expensive, man.
it just went down
yeah, it's actually
Yeah. for us.
it's gotten cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I
So you have
on-
old numbers
that's,
here?
That's an average one, which means
Yeah,
they're always
which is-
gonna.
which-
Yeah.
It,
But
it
I
almost
saw
hit
it under-
$6
I saw
for
it
a
under.
while.
We saw it under 4. I saw it under 4 last week for the first time in
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$6.
It's
it's a lot.
Crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's insulting.
Yeah.
What's the longest road trip you guys have ever taken?
We've taken a lot.
Yeah, I think it would
Yeah.
be to Denver, San Diego to Denver.
Yeah.
I think that
We
was
did that
a-
with our family of 5 during
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Mm.
I think we did it twice.
It was either
Um,
yeah,
How long did that take?
Well, we
Well, we-
stretched it out like
yeah.
2.5 days out. Does that sound right?
yeah.
we stopped in
we did it-
Utah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Did
well,
you ever
no, because San Diego when we moved, because San Diego to Seattle is 1,200 miles, I think. So we've done a couple about
Yeah.
the same distance, 1,000 plus.
we've
That's
done
a
quite-
gorgeous
we've done-
drive, though. Like,
Yeah.
That's
when,
the best drive.
yeah,
Mhm.
that is really,
Because
really
you
nice.
can go through Vegas
Yeah.
and then hit Utah,
Yeah.
or you can go through Arizona. So
Yeah.
we did Vegas, Utah, and then we did Arizona on the way back.
We spent the
Ah.
4th of
A lot of
July
fun.
in St. George, Utah, and it was like, you know that fireworks scene in the Sandlot?
Yeah.
It was like that. There was like this
Mhm.
country like concert going at this
It
And like this, like it was like
Kinda like a rodeo kinda
rodeo
thing.
into concert, and like then right into fireworks, and we were at the park, and we had ice cream. I was like, it's like the 60s. It was unbelievable.
Utah loves St. George.
Yeah.
Because I think it's
Yeah.
kind of Arizona-ish
Yeah.
weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Kinda right.
as...
Mhm. So yeah, that drive is gorgeous. Yeah, we've done that, and then we've done San Diego to Seattle, which is not a pretty drive. That's
No,
like,
that's just
it's
I-5.
I-5 the whole way.
It's just flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting
Mhm.
it done.
Yeah, it's fast.
If you take the coast,
Yeah.
it's lovely. It just takes a lot longer.
Mhm.
Without you guys,
Mhm.
I did Chicago to Seattle, which I think is the biggest one.
Like how
That's
he
a
said
haul.
that.
That's a haul.
But that's because
We thought you guys hold me back. I really covered some ground.
well, no, me and a friend did it, and yeah, that was the longest one.
That was crazy.
Got paid $80 for that gig.
I
No
wish,
hotel.
I wish there was a
Yeah.
gig
Yeah.
attached to that.
yeah, that's a real
30
that's
hours.
mostly one freeway. The freeways in America are unbelievable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
It's crazy how easy it is.
See, we
to
say
get.
interstate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I don't use freeway. I don't really know what you mean by freeway. That's just interstate.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
They say highway too, like, but I think we say interstate.
Highway's a different thing to us. Highway's the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
I don't know if we care.
And then we
Yeah.
just say the
We
5.
just say interstate.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what you mean by small
Yeah.
ones. Like 440 versus
well,
40.
the interstates to me are the
blue
they're called
signs.
interstates, the blue signs, the
Yeah.
federal ones, the national
Yeah.
ones. These
Mhm.
are they're called interstate because they connect states, right?
Yeah.
And so highways to me are like the more kind of like regional ones, you know, and they'll cross state
Briley
lines sometimes.
Parkway.
That's the highway.
That's a highway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
actually called a parkway, so
Yeah.
it might be a
Yeah.
parkway.
They're,
Or
yeah.
they would have called it Briley Highway.
Yeah,
But they couldn't have probably done that.
A highway goes through a lot of smaller towns.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
might have a stoplight every once in a while.
840.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No,
Route 66. is-
Route 66.
There you go.
The original highway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
where it's a mix of road and a little
Yeah.
interstate. filler.
yeah.
Yeah.
The big one
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
California is 101.
Yeah.
The 101 highway all
Yeah.
along the coast. It's gorgeous, but it takes forever. And
Yeah.
the 5 is what when we lived in Seattle, you would call it I-5, but now in California, you just call it the 5, the 8, the 15.
It's
And
more
you,
efficient.
You can just
Yeah.
knock out some time. Just
Mhm.
440, 840, those are bypasses.
Mm,
If it goes north to south, it's an odd number. East to west, a even number.
mm.
What do you do?
Huh.
So, how do you entertain the family on a car ride that long?
How much is planned out and how much is
Mhm.
just, let's see
It just
what
kinda-
happens.
It depends a lot. We've done it all because we've been doing this with our kids, and we almost have a 18-year-old. Yeah. We sometimes we'll do like family playlists where everyone
Okay.
puts in music, and so it's like a soundtrack. You know, so then you're not like fighting over the music.
you
And
pass
then
the phone around and they just hit add to queue.
Oh, so
So
Yeah.
they have
Smart.
Mhm.
They got a
and then
song
you kind
coming
of have
up.
to listen to each other's music a little
Oh,
bit. It's like
yeah.
collaborative, you know.
Mhm.
And then also there's just that moment where you're like, everybody get on your own devices and put your headphones in because
Right. Quiet
we
game.
all hate each
Mhm.
other,
Yeah.
you know. And headphones are, you know, like it
Yeah.
just cancels it all out.
Well,
Yeah.
we've been through
Yeah.
we've been doing road trips with kids for almost 18 years, meaning
Yeah.
we've seen the technology evolve. Like that's like the stuff that we do now
yeah,
as
we used to
they're
have
older.
CDs and the
still
DVD
burn
player.
CDs.
Yeah, the portable DVD
You probably
player.
had that with
Yeah,
Harper,
yeah.
like
yeah.
before the iPad was available.
There's
Yeah. Mhm.
now it's easier. We try and limit the screen. It's on a long drive. You try and not give it to them right away
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
It's-
you're
it's
like it's,
bait.
You can't
for
start.
later
You can't start here.
Yeah.
Like maybe the last 2 hours when we need it.
Yeah.
when you're
Oh,
stuck in-
that's interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's
Of a
all of
3-hour trip?
parenting, Aaron.
Yeah.
Is just
yeah.
postponing the screen time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is
Yeah.
a large part
Yep.
of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite hack that we did, and we invented it on that Colorado trip, is a thing called Mom's Quiet Hour, which for the first hour of the drive, no one was allowed to say anything
Or
and no
ask for anything.
or ask for anything, and no music could be played, and Mom would just sleep. Like that was like I think when you could play music, they could
Yeah.
listen. We could listen to music that I
Mhm.
would play, but the
Some
point was,
pressure.
yeah, the point
her.
was you couldn't, and anytime they talked, the hour would restart.
Oh.
Because the point would be that, like,
I don't think we really restarted the hour,
Yeah.
but
well, I get really car sick, so I always drive.
he drives the whole time, which means I am like reaching back and giving them snacks and toys and books.
You're
and
curating the whole experience back there.
Doing the tech support on their iPad.
Throwing almonds at them.
Pairing the Bluetooth. And so that was his thing was like, we get in the car, we're all fed, we're all packed. And then like, I just like get to take a little nap. You know?
You would usually grab a stuffed animal.
Yeah. I take a stuffed animal from the kids, lean against the window, check out for a little bit because, inevitably the packing is stressful and exhausting. Yeah. And this guy's at a gig the night before,
We were, there was a lot of like
I'm packing the car and like cleaning the house and getting the kids to bed and we got to leave.
Why are we going to Laughlin, Dad? That casino gig needs an opener.
It's a free hotel room.
I brought my family for a lot of the early road because you were just like, they're going to pay me $100 to go on and I get a hotel.
I can write off the gas.
Yeah, and then you get to a hotel, you're like, I shouldn't take a kid here.
It's a motel.
I shouldn't be here. Let alone my family.
Now, how often y'all stopping for snacks? You pack a cooler? Or?
Yeah, I pack some stuff. Like I mean, I'm not like making sandwiches in the car. Like people will do that. Like we'll stop for like a meal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we always have snacks, and it's amazing how many snacks children will eat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a tension between me and the rest of the family, which is kind of a trope. But I think that's good because if you had a driver who's willing to stop as much as the rest of the passengers, it would take so long. So you kind of like if
like you're on a mission and we just don't want to stop.
Yeah,
we're like, what can we stop?
Meaning we stop every 3 to 5 hours, right? Depending on
that's pretty great.
Limit the fluids.
I thought you were say every 45 minutes.
But you want them to be a little afraid to ask you to stop. Not so much that they never do.
Yeah.
But you want them to like, I'll hold it and then when it's a real problem, then I'll bring it up.
We got to team it. You got to time it out together.
Mm-hmm.
I was just I drove from St. Louis this morning with 2 other comics, and after a while I was like, does anybody need to use the bathroom? And they were both like, oh yeah. They were like waiting for me to bring it up.
That's
they didn't want to do
That's a good opener to not tell though.
Yeah.
If I'm got a guy riding with me and I'm headlining, he'll never open for me again. If he tells me he needs to pee, you kidding me?
You wait till I need to.
Yeah, you need to get on my schedule.
Figure it out.
It's usually got to be a problem. You're like, yo, dude, it's about to.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. For the sake of your seat.
Yeah.
We should stop.
You ever do side of the road?
No, because no, we haven't.
That's not.
If I'm on like a nothing road. Not on a highway. Not where just back to the. I would have to be to get into some woods.
Yeah. I'm talking about like a little. Not on the interstate.
Not like Tommy Boy, Tommy Boy with like Chris Farley.
Free cars going by.
You're like, I couldn't do that.
No.
We did have a situation. We were leaving Vegas over the summer. This is like 115, and we were in traffic, and we went. The bathroom line was like out the door.
Yeah,
they were out of ice. It was like the apocalypse. And we definitely like had our littlest one pee in the parking lot.
Yeah.
We found some bushes.
Yeah.
When you got to. Did you guys do any road trips in your potty training and stuff? It's like it's a whole different.
That's tough.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, we should have stopped.
Yeah.
You said you did a arena in Huntsville, and an hour later you're on the side of the road in a bush somewhere peeing. Remember this?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a few months ago. It was the end of the weekend, so you wanted to drive home by yourself.
Yeah.
And you said,
oh, yeah.
You pulled over. And you were like, 45 minutes ago, I was in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah. It was the last, when I did Huntsville was one of the last shows I did. Yeah. It's just funny sometimes to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Where you could be, that was at night and I got off on a road. And so I just found there was another road, and you're like, there's, it's like instead of going to a whole gas station kind of thing, you're like, I'll do it like that. Mm-hmm. It's dark, no one can see,
When you moved from New York to LA, did you drive cross country?
I did. We left on the day Hurricane Sandy hit. That's why I had to leave earlier. Mm. I think I've told this on there.
You and Laura?
A little suspicious.
Laura, I got a tip.
Yeah.
Insider training.
Insider, yeah.
All right.
Trading.
Something's coming. No, we were supposed to leave. I was always going to drive our car, and Laura. So we just had Harper. Harper's like 2 months old. So Laura's dad came up there, and they were going to fly home, and fly to. Harper's born in Nashville. We went back up there to get. To move out of the apartment and get our stuff, get our car. I was driving the car across country with my buddy Louis Katz. And so we were going to do, we had a couple, like we set up some one-nighters to kind of like piece us through. And then Hurricane Sandy came. So we had to leave a day earlier because we weren't going to be able to get out. So then they went to the airport to try to go home. They couldn't get out. So they had to go stay in a hotel. And so I always joke that, the one thing they tell you to do with hurricanes is like, take care of old people and babies. And I just left, and I left Laura with both of those things. She had an old person and a baby. And so Laura and them were in the hotel. It was when all of the lights went out in New York. They all went up to, thankfully her street was the only street, it was like that was lit. Her and above. It was by Grand Central Station or something. They ended up getting a hotel down there because we didn't have anything in the apartment. Everything was gone.
Right.
Everything was being moved.
Yeah.
And so then we left, and we went and did a show in, I think, Ohio. That's when I learned something. Louis Katz, he always said something that I always think about, because we were like, it's 3:00, 4:00 or something, and we have a show at 7. And he was like, all right, let's try to take a nap. And he's like, when I take naps, if I can't fall asleep in 20 minutes, I get up and I just go. And so I always still think about this today. Like, you give yourself, instead of just laying there and trying to force a nap, you go, all right, I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, then I get back up and it's over.
Wow.
And I always still think about that now. So if you try to do it, if you can't do it, then get up and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we drove. So the whole thing was, we went, so you could go 2 ways. You could go New York to California. You could go southern, or you could go like through Pennsylvania and then come in through that Denver and stuff. Now, going through the Pennsylvania drive, Pennsylvania is a brutal state to drive through. I would imagine it can be like Tennessee for a lot of people, but it's so long, you don't ever think you're getting out of it. You're in it forever.
Yeah.
And you're just, every time you think you're somewhere, you're like, am I closer? You're not closer. You're never closer. You're going to just be more in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And you don't like it. You just feel like you have to go across the whole thing. So we did the top. I think we did that. We did the top or something.
Yeah.
And so then but the whole point of the drive was to get to Colorado, because it's like you basically have done the drive. The drive to Colorado is like, it's fine. And then Colorado to LA was like, that's your reward for the top.
Yeah.
And Louis was going to do the whole thing with me. And then Louis got a gig at San Francisco Punchline. So he left me in Denver. I was like, this is the
payoff.
The whole reason we're doing this was so I did that alone. And I remember they were somewhere in Utah, and they were, because you get in situations where you're like, all right, you have to ask people, and they would tell you like, all right, you either got to go over this mountain tonight, or there's going to be a storm, and you're not getting over it maybe for a couple of days. Or so I remember once where I was going to stay in a hotel right before the mountain. They were like, I just overheard people talking about it. You're like, well, then I guess I need to. So I just had to drive through it and get over it.
Was that like, you'd already done the big move to a city, like as a comic, like the move to New York and stuff. But was there, an element where that was still kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a romantic drive for you of just being like, here we go, I'm going to LA, going like, moving out west, like, taking my shot at. You were already pretty established as a comic.
But when I got to LA, I would have been, if I didn't grind it back out, I wouldn't be anywhere. It was like I went backward. I didn't go backwards, but it was like you could tell you got to keep your foot on the pedal. Because when I went to LA, I think I felt like a breather, like it wasn't. The pressure of New York where you're going up every night, where you're like, you got to be going up every night. So like that pressure was gone, because LA just wasn't, I mean, you want to go up every night, but it's just a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's so since that pressure was gone, I felt great. And then but then I was just, we were just talking about this today. But then when I might have talked about it before. I was supposed to open for Burr at Largo. And so I remember I was like, oh, all right, I got that. And then Burr had to cancel. And so then I ended up doing an open mic that night. And I remember thinking, like, I did a half hour on Comedy Central. I did late night appearances, and I felt like a panic. I always judge everything by when I can, if I feel myself get a little flustered or worried or panicky, then it's like, I was like, oh, this is all going to just disappear. It doesn't matter that I have these credits, because when I go there, I mean, yeah, I got to go up on the open mic. They let me go up because I've done TV.
Yeah, you didn't have to get your name drawn.
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't like, it was like, we can't believe you're in town.
Right.
It was just like, almost someone had to talk, introduce and say who I was. And they were like, oh yeah, we know you, like that kind of thing. So it was like, oh, so I'm like back to like, but then when I was in LA, it just moved quicker because you're just been doing comedy longer and you have doing stuff. So then I just went out and did all the shows and just hung out. I had to hang out a lot. I had to not go up, but just let everybody know I'm in town, because you have a ego and arrogance to be like, I'm a New York comic. I'm in town. I've done TV, and everybody will just figure that I'm in town and they're going to come ask me to do this. But it turns out no one thinks of you.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the SEC of the comedy scene.
Yeah. They shouldn't think of you. It's not their job to think about you.
Right.
So you then got to go, I got to go out and let them know that I'm out, and like let them know that I've moved here, and like and I got to go on stage and I got to do really good and Murder and all these shows, so I'm getting asked back, and you got to just stay on top of it. And that's the part that can be the ego part is the part that's hard, I think, in comedy, because it's, you can think, well, I'll just make this, this Christmas special. You could be like, well, I've done enough stuff, so they're going to watch the Christmas special because I've been around. And so there's still, I mean, obviously still, but there's a lot of people that don't know me. Like they're going to see, who is this guy that's hosting this Christmas special? Yeah. So you just constantly reminding yourself anytime, because you have it where, we're writing a movie and, I'm going to do whatever I want. Well, if this movie stinks, dude, they don't owe me this movie. Like, it'll go away so fast. Right. Yeah. So if I always want to grow out of it. That would be the way I want to. I want to grow out of it. To be like, are you doing a movie? And you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. Because because we're building a theme park. Or like something. Like, it's like, I was
going to say, what's left? Yeah.
Well, it's like, there's ideas.
Yeah.
But it's like, I like the idea of when you get asked to go do something, you get to go like, I'm not doing it because I think I'm better than it. Yeah. You're just like, I just don't know if I really have I won't be able to give you the best thing for that, because I'm actually really focused on this other kind of thing now.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would always, do.
Has anyone ever picked up a hitchhiker?
No.
Or considered it?
Right here.
You have?
Right here.
Really?
I got one right. Yeah, just
he's the hitchhiker. Yeah.
He cannot get rid of me.
The Middle Tennessee kid. That's hilarious.
15 years and he's still trying to get rid of me.
My dad used to.
You're like, gosh, I wish you would have just killed me at this point.
Yeah.
Your dad used to be?
Yeah, Brian tries to leave. I'm the one that doesn't let Brian leave. It's the opposite.
That's the twist at the end.
That's the twist at the end. And he goes, I've been wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
I feel like back then it was a common thing.
It was legal. My parents used to do it too.
Wait, is it illegal to hitchhike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why? Why is it illegal to ask for a ride?
Probably just too many.
I was about to say, I don't see any hitchhikers
You know what?
anymore.
I don't know that it's illegal everywhere, but I do know there are signs that say no hitchhiking across, that I've seen across the country. So,
yeah.
Okay.
It's legal and illegal.
So it depends where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Utah, Wyoming. Illegal. So if you're there and you see someone that needs help hitchhiking, you go, you're not even supposed to be asking.
It's hitchhiking is illegal on any property under the jurisdiction of the Department of the Interior specific. So you can't do it on national parks.
I think
either.
it's probably tough to be a hitchhiker nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, there was
I still see them
They
occasionally.
have an app.
Yeah, my wife's my father-in-law, he would hitchhike to like they would come to he'd go to like the Grand Ole Opry to listen to the Opry.
Yeah.
They would just you'd be like, well, how'd you get up there? He goes, I just hitchhiked. Then you
Yeah.
hitchhike home. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
My dad did it. Your dad
Whoa.
did it.
Yeah, it was
Right?
like.
Or you picked them up.
My dad would pick people up.
Yeah,
picked
it was.
up my dad.
But even with your dad, it was probably this is her parents are in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
But back then they would hitchhike. It was just like catching the bus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Like
So
it was the way they talk about it.
Uh-huh.
There is no like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get home. It was like, yeah, we just hitchhiked.
Just get in the back of a truck.
yeah, they get back in the
Somehow.
truck and they go
Yeah.
hitchhikes and pulls over. Goes, where are you going? He goes, I'm going up here. And you
Yeah.
go, all right, you get back.
Yeah.
You go. What a wonderful time to be alive.
I know.
Wow.
Like where you could just
Yeah. But
Uh,
yes and no. The reason that it got illegal and it has a stigma now is because it did go wrong a lot of times, right?
not
You
I,
think?
not back. I don't think it did back then. I'm sure people. Yeah, there's bad people, but
Right.
it's their. I don't think it was.
Let me go back to this
Oh,
Wikipedia
yeah.
entry right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
It's
Dustin.
doppelganger.
It's
Yeah.
actually a good segue
Oh,
back
wow.
to
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're talking.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, we've covered this in length, unfortunately.
Oh, that guy was a hitchhiker.
no.
No, but
Oh.
let's hitchhiking involved, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Cash walked from Nashville to Hendersonville.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah, you think you told me that story.
Yeah.
And you could, yeah. I mean, I think if the hitchhiker's cool, I think it can be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you hear it the other way. You don't hear the hitchhiker go, I had these people
Yeah.
pick me up and it was a problem. It's
Right.
always if the hitchhiker is in
Yeah.
control, if it's a good guy or a good girl hitchhiking, then I think it can go.
But
good.
how do you assess that? You drive up, roll down the window. Like, what are you into?
Well, the way they dress is already
Yeah.
tough. So
Yeah. It's what
I would say if you're going to hitchhike and become homeless,
Yeah.
start off with a suit. So your last day. So your last day of being homeless or of being home,
Yeah.
having a home, buy a suit. That should be your last purchase before you go homeless.
Yeah.
Buy a suit.
Those people
And
are
then-
they got the sign.
And then work
Kinda
your way
clothes.
back.
Yeah.
Go work
Yeah.
your way back.
Mhm.
I bet there's a fun element to it. Because you're like, yeah, if you're like a guy that wants to meet and talk to someone
Right.
and hear their story and
It's an
all that.
adventure.
It
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
utopian.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's one of those things that on paper it sounds
So,
like
yeah, like-
beautiful, like communism. I don't know. This is a terrible example.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, in practice, it's
Yeah.
much harder to execute.
The philosophy thing I want to tell you, Aaron, was I read that the Iliad and the Odyssey was the first road trip story.
Oh,
And I wonder what you thought of that.
It's fun.
that's great. Yeah, those are pretty old.
Well, since you're the one that
stories.
read them, I thought maybe you could.
You read those in school. You had to read those in high school, didn't you?
Not in Lebanon.
I don't know if I read them.
What were y'all
I'm not
reading? Do you
good.
remember books you had to read in high school?
The Bible.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bible, see, that's
did
the
read
first
that in
road
mine,
trip.
actually, yeah.
Moses leading the Israelites out.
Yeah.
That's the first road trip.
Yeah.
I guess
And
so.
Jesus' disciples was the first fun road trip.
He read the one that
Just him and his
it's
boys.
Yeah.
there you go. What
Road
shape
trip.
does this look like?
That's right.
Butterfly?
We actually did.
I
you
couldn't
write
think
this
of an
down?
old. Yeah.
Are you getting this?
He goes. He read Huck Finn when it was. And then Huck Finn came and talked at the school.
It was actually just
No.
orated.
No, that's
It is-
not- okay.
Melissa, please.
For a second, I was like,
Yeah.
I did read that book.
Yeah.
You thought Huck
Brian
Finn
knew
was
him.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
came
no,
to my
wait,
school
Wait,
in the
wait,
80s.
wait.
Brian asked for his autograph.
This is fiction.
Well, I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hitchhiked to the school.
Mr. Finn.
Yeah.
Can you sign my book?
Say hello to Tom Sawyer for me.
Yeah. Here, take a picture with me. I have a question for you guys because one thing about the like the South and like middle of the country comics is you guys do drive to more gigs than you can on the West. Like we have limited. San Francisco is 8 hours away from where
Yeah,
I
you're
live.
so spread out.
And then
California is
so much traffic.
like
Yeah.
Well, you got the ocean to the west
Yeah.
and Mexico to the south.
realistically, a drive for a Southern California comic is
Canada to the north.
Yeah,
If we're just, I don't know if we're doing.
yeah.
That
then
makes no
is,
sense.
The whole country to
like
the rest of
the whole country.
Yeah.
to the right.
yeah.
yeah.
To your right is the rest of the country.
Space right up. Too.
Space.
Clouds.
I
Yeah.
think you guys get my
You know,
point.
do you think you can't do the road because of the ocean? You are too close to the ocean? Go ahead, Dustin. Take that question. Is that why you think there's not as many road gigs? Because of the ocean?
I would say, go ahead, Dustin.
Go ahead.
There's only so much that we can get in a car reasonably.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can get NorCal.
My point exactly.
And you can get
Yeah.
Vegas, and you can
It's
get
not
Phoenix
the best place to live as a comic.
as a road comic. Yeah.
Yeah. The Nashville, what's so great about Nashville is, and why the tour buses are here.
Yeah.
Why
Mhm.
music, a big reason I think why music came here was because of how centrally located there's so many shows.
Right.
There aren't many cities Brian could base the easier to drive tour out of.
Right.
This is the biggest city to do it because you could think like Chicago's in the middle, but you're like, well, there's only so many gigs that are going to be north of you in Chicago.
Right.
Where our north
Canada
is
north
Chicago.
of Chicago.
Yeah.
Our south is New Orleans and
That was
Alabama.
his point
Georgia.
about
that was
the
good.
about the
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Easy to drive
Yeah.
through.
Well, when we did,
It is a good point
When
because
we-
they take off half the country
Yeah.
because of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you do a lot
What are
of
you
shows
talking
out
about?
in the
That's
ocean.
in wrong.
You
A
got-
lot of shows in Mexico.
yeah.
No,
You
like
done a show in Mexico? Have you done one?
I did a corporate there.
I did a corporate there too.
Yeah. Cancun.
Yeah.
Nice.
that's bougie.
I could have
corporate
probably
work.
guessed
Yeah.
Cancun.
It was awesome.
I do my corporates in Nashville. That's true. I was here 2 weeks ago out here.
yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of corporates in Nashville.
There are a
now.
lot of corporates in
Yeah.
Nashville.
Oh, that's the best, man. When you live in Nashville and you get a corporate gig here and you drive to it
Yeah.
and then go home, it's
yeah.
bananas.
That's what I
In-town
always
corporate.
feel for
Yeah.
you when I'm
Yeah.
getting them.
I've been to a bunch
Because we
in
have
San Diego.
we have the same manager, and I'm getting your
Yeah.
corporates in your town.
Yeah.
We don't have the same manager.
I mean, same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's not you're not
No.
rivals
I have
against
no.
that.
I know what I
Power
get.
move.
What you know? What my actual
Yeah.
ones are is people because we have the same agency and management.
Yeah.
Nate and
So they
Dustin,
inquire about Nate, and then they see the cost, and they're like, "Who opens for him?
Yeah. Okay, who opens for his opener?
Yeah.
Let me get into that.
Yeah.
Do we have any? But so what?
have-
You guys knock out. You guys do more driving in it. But my question is like, what are your? Do you guys have certain stops that you're like a Loves? I mean, a Buc-ee's is obviously the goal. There are certain ones that you're like
Buc-ee's was
That's-
Loves. I would always
It's a
go to
good
Loves.
you're a
stop.
Loves guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm still a love. Stopped at Loves today.
Yeah,
Still a
love of
Loves.
Loves.
Yeah.
Now, if
And they don't know when he goes in, they're like truck driver, regular car, they
Yeah.
don't know. Because he blends in. What he's wearing
Yeah.
right now, way you look, you blend
Yeah.
in.
I can
You-
blend in anybody.
They're like,
You
Middle
got
America?
that
Yeah.
camo
They're like, sir,
jacket you like
they don't
too.
know.
Your camo. He is wearing camo. Like, sir, your
You like
shower's
camo.
ready.
Yeah.
If he walked in, they found out he went to Notre Dame, they would be shocked.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't. Because they would assume he just got out of a big truck.
Yeah.
And I do
Yeah.
always use the other checkout area in the
Yeah.
back with the
Well,
truck.
the line
Oh,
shorter.
yeah.
That's
line
the hack
over
is
there.
to
Yeah,
skip
yeah.
the line. Yeah, you go where the
Yeah,
truck
I know
is.
about
So I'm
that.
ordering with
Yeah.
the truckers. They might think I am.
And do they always go, how much you got? Like, what do they say?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuel? Because you got to
Where you
tell
at? Where you
know
headed
where
to?
you
Yeah.
at. No, well, like,
Kids
how much
just do
the
this
fuel
in front of
costs.
you.
Yeah, I'll get 90.
Yeah.
I get $900 on pump 4.
Yeah, yeah, it's like crazy. Yeah, it's the most.
Well, one of the worst parts about doing road trips in California is a lot of the gas stations, and you know this because you lived out there, don't have a bathroom you can use, which is
Yeah.
very frustrating. So you don't even go in until you're like, do they have one? Okay, well,
You
looks like
can't
we're going to
go to the
Fresno.
bathroom in LA.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
There's an
Yeah.
app called
Oh.
Flush Toilet Finder. It helps you find the closest bathroom
Oh, really?
on the
Oh,
road.
Oh, that's
nice.
pretty sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was in your notes for
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
I'm thorough, guys.
That's really good.
How
Yeah,
prepared,
that's for- what's it
Brian.
I
called?
am what I am.
Yeah, unfortunately
down.
in
Flush-
California they do it on the
flush
street a lot.
toilet. What's it called?
Flush Toilet Finder.
Flush toilet finder. They
It's
could have probably done a
unfair.
better name than that.
Yeah, I was
Could you
thinking like
flush-
potty
flush-
stop would be
Yeah.
good.
Potty
Could you
stop.
do something?
Yeah.
Potty break.
Potty break.
I
Yeah.
probably got it wrong.
Potty break
Yeah.
app.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You should,
Okay.
yeah.
What's it called?
Flush toilet.
I got to tell
Finder.
you, DuckDuckGo stinks, dude.
Yeah.
Flush Go Finder.
Flush Toilet
I mean,
Finder.
Flush Finder.
Flush
was
Public
right there.
Toilet. Yeah, yeah. Free app.
Yeah.
All right. How about that? It's the
Oh, that's a
quickest,
good little
simplest
icon.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
little.
Again, unfortunately, in parts of California, that's literally just the streets are on the app.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever on a road trip said, "Don't make me come back there"?
No,
Mm.
I don't think so.
We're just lying.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked.
You've said you've expressed the sentiment.
Oh, yeah.
I'll turn this
Yeah.
car around. You
Yeah,
ever said, "I'll
yeah.
turn this car around"?
You're saying I'll drive this car off this bridge right now?
We did
Something like
do.
that.
That's what you should say.
Yeah.
To really,
Yeah.
you go, I'll end it all right now.
I don't
Yeah.
even care if we get there.
Yeah.
You're like, we're gonna all die because you're screaming. I can't even focus.
Man, make them feel bad. It's smart. Put it on them.
Yeah.
You trying to kill this whole family?
right.
You turn that light off.
Quiet! I can't even drive.
The light is the funny thing, is because when you're young, you're like, what does this light matter to you?
Yeah.
And then when you drive,
Yeah.
you start older, you're like, if you do not turn that light off,
Yeah.
like
I can't see.
It's unbelievable. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know what's going on.
As a kid, that's the worst thing you could do in
Yeah.
the car was
Yeah.
leave a light on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harper wants to turn her light on. We could drive to 10 minutes to the store that her light's going to be on.
Mhm.
And you're just, when you're driving at night, you're like, if you do not turn that light. But I remember as a kid, and my dad would, you better turn it off, and
Yeah.
you get in trouble. And you're like, why would the light matter?
Mhm.
And then you figure it out. You figure it out as
Yeah.
you get
Mhm.
older. You
Yeah,
go,
it's
"It just
disorienting."
yeah.
It is disorienting.
Mm-hmm.
Driving at night's harder as you get old too.
Go download Flush
Yeah, it
Toilet
is.
Finder map. It's
It has a 200,000 loos all around the world.
Yeah, this must
So
be a
that's pretty good.
This must be a
International.
British app. Missing basic
Yeah.
info. On
Oh man, this person has a chronic health issue that necessitates frequent bathroom trips.
Oh
God.
no!
Hoping this app would change my life, but oh man, it doesn't have the hours
That's tough,
listed
dude.
accurately.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh, yeah, that's a
I
tough
feel
one.
bad about that.
But that's like, I do feel bad about that, but that's also like, all right, man, we're at least trying.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he goes, I really hung my hat on this. And you go,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if you
Yeah.
should be out that much.
You're asking
If
this.
you got to go, if you're having to
Yeah.
go, you should be the one that started this app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're asking this app to know the hours of every business
Yeah.
in the world.
And you want to go, we're doing something that no one really cares about, but we put in crazy effort
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, because for
that's
the most people,
yeah.
for the most point, for people
For
have
the
been
most
able to
part.
find bathrooms for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
But this
You can ask, yeah, but this,
Oh.
I mean, people like when they leave a bad review on an app, like it is, you like looking at reviews, but overall, you want to go like, I understand this is not probably the most downloadable app.
yeah.
So, just leave it at that. Don't like really go like, you know what?
Yeah. This person recommends, having some sort of rating system for the toilets.
Yeah. And they go,
So
how about we're in the first stages of at least showing you where,
yeah.
like, what do they want it to say? Like, it'd be better to go outside.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy says he wants to know whether it's a single person locked room, or I think what happened is this app got flooded with people with real medical problems,
Yeah.
and they're like, we were just trying to like help a drunk guy
Yeah.
walking home from the
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help a family, find a
family,
good stop.
yeah.
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 That's funny.
All right.
My favorite road trip movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
That's my
best.
favorite movie. Yeah. We'll watch it
Mhm.
every Thanksgiving.
It's your
So a
favorite
couple days-
movie?
Yeah, it's my
Yes.
very favorite
Said we're
movie.
going the wrong way.
Mhm.
How does
Yeah.
he know where we're going?
It's such a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does he know? Yeah.
How can he say?
He's the best.
Love it.
All right,
All right.
we did it.
Uh,
This week. Oh,
yeah.
no, go
What
ahead.
is it? December 19th.
December 19th,
Christmas special.
Christmas special.
And then Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve Netflix
The
special.
regular special.
Pre-order the book. May 6th.
And the book.
The Big
And the
Demise.
movie.
Yeah. And there's the movie. We're working on the movie.
And Greg Warren's taping went well.
Greg Warren's, crushed it. Vecchione special, December 28th. Here, right? Yeah. Here. Then you got the Consumers every third Tuesday. And then Don't Make Me Come Back There with Melissa and Dustin every Thursday.
Yeah,
Sweet.
awesome. Are you anywhere this weekend?
I do not know.
Okay.
Vandy plays Tennessee. I don't think I'm anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this Wednesday, November 27th, the day it comes out, I will be at Zany's tonight, the Lab at Zany's for Brian Bates and friends. Come on out. Just a few tickets left, but we got a great lineup again. So come bring your family on Thanksgiving Eve for that. December 13th, I'm at Hyenas Comedy Club in Fort Worth, Texas. So please come to that as well. I want to sell that out.
The day before Thanksgiving was always good on shows in New York.
Oh, was it?
It was always a good night to do shows because a lot of people would come in for family. They'd want to go out. And then it was always like, that was a night that was always going to be crowded.
how excited would you be? Vanderbilt beats Tennessee, knocks them out of the playoff. I mean,
Something, man.
could happen.
It'd be something.
I have one more big public show this year, December 13th. We just added this, Florence, Alabama, which is a beautiful, underrated city.
I've been to Florence.
I'm headlining the Shoals
Laura,
Theater.
my wife was born there.
Really?
I'm headlining the Shoals Theater in
Muscle
Florence.
Shoals, right? All down there, yeah.
December 13th. This is Aaron Weber speaking, by the way. I will be in Florence, Alabama. Shoals Theater. I've opened for people there for a
I've
while.
done it so many times.
For some reason, I don't know. I'm headlining there December 13th. Alex Veludo, who's done the podcast before, he's going to be with me. If you're in the Florence area, come on out. It's going to
only
be
public show.
the rest of the year, and then January I'm back at it. Yeah. I'm doing corporates. I'm working, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want everybody to know I could be doing more.
Yeah. Only public. We make fun of Dusty saying the public figure.
Yeah.
That goes in
Public
with
show.
the only hey, check me out next year. We'll be doing a lot more public shows.
Yeah.
It goes right now.
Yeah. Let me give you guys the.
Is it public or not public?
Let me guys give you some of the dates of a working comedian.
I'm gonna give you all. I'm gonna give you
God.
all my dates, and be like, all those are private, and here's the two that are public. December 13th, right?
December 13th.
Public show.
Florence,
You want to
Alabama.
see
Public
Aaron
show.
in public.
If you want to see a public figure
You're in public,
in his element,
in his element.
Yeah.
that's going to be me.
Where in
Yeah.
Alabama,
Florence,
where he's the most
Alabama.
comfortable.
That's right.
Yeah.
Basically a hometown show.
Hometown
Yeah.
show.
If there are certain companies that you work for in the greater Southeast area, you might also see him. You get some corporates going too. You know?
Yeah, I got some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm working.
He's
I'm
working.
working. All right.
He's working.
Couple holiday parties.
I regret the way I worded that, but
Yeah.
that ticketed show. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Just none of it sounds good. Just
Yeah.
say his show.
Yeah.
Ticketed.
But I
doesn't
don't want to
sound
say I
good.
have one more show this year because that's not.
Well,
I mean, I'm working.
We
I
did
know,
say
but
that.
you do.
But one more pub. That's why I qualified it.
It's very fun.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, I'm at the historic Everett Theater in Everett, Washington.
Oh yeah, it's hometown for you.
Yeah, a little north,
Little.
North End folks. Yeah, which is nice. And then December 5th and 6th, I'm at Bricktown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City, and the 7th in Tulsa, 12th through 14th at Spokane, 27th through 29th in Phoenix.
You go
all public
Spokane, like all
shows.
that. That's probably pretty. I mean, Everett will be nice.
Everett's great. Yeah, day before Thanksgiving is a good.
'Cause we've done Everett together.
We haven't done Everett, but we've done
Oh.
Spokane back
Yeah.
when we would.
Yeah.
You did Everett
I did
recently.
Everett.
You did,
A lot of our fans were there.
I believe you did
Yeah.
the arena
Yeah.
in Everett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I did the club with you in Spokane.
But I think I've done a theater in Everett too.
Yeah,
Probably.
maybe.
Yeah.
I've
I feel
done.
like you've always been with me in Washington.
I've done
stuff,
some of
though,
the
so-
Seattle stuff. I don't think I've done Everett with
Yeah.
you, but we did Bellingham.
I did
which is
Tacoma
even further
with you.
north. Yeah,
Tacoma.
Mhm,
Mount
Tacoma.
Rainier. That's where the
Seattle.
horse stories.
Dead
from,
horse.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that was a fun.
So,
Melissa.
Oh,
what do you got coming up, Mel?
Wicked.
No,
I
where are
got
you?
a lot of volleyball coming up.
Yeah.
Brag. Can Mel brag? Where are you going to be this weekend?
On Saturday, our son runs at the state cross country meet.
State
Oh,
state
wow.
championships.
Fresno.
Oh, wow.
D1 in the state of California, like the highest level that you can
Oh,
get.
that's
We're so crazy. excited.
Yeah.
We're
It's
so
great.
excited.
He's so
What's
fast.
he running?
Yeah.
His mile's about like a 420, 425.
Yes.
Wow.
Is he
He's-
running the mile?
So it's
or-
a-
Well, cross country's a
5K,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
3.12.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
cooking.
miles.
Starting to get looks from.
Wow.
So he's got like, how does he looks like he's got a, it's going to be a real fight.
He
like a
he
real-
won't win because California, like a Texas or a Florida, like they're so big.
Yeah.
Like the kids who win that are probably the fastest runners in the nation.
Yeah.
But he'll be probably somewhere in the middle of the pack. Hopefully he gets a great time, and it's huge because he's getting recruited for colleges and stuff. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
yeah.
What's
it's
a great,
awesome.
like under 20 minutes?
Oh well, I mean if he got
15s
yeah,
is
he's
a
like-
really great time
Yeah,
for 3 miles.
That's insane.
no, you
Yeah.
want to average about a
Mhm.
5:20 mile at his pace
Yeah.
for 3 miles,
Mhm.
up and down
What
in
if
the
he
rain.
is
and
like the Oregon runner?
Prefontaine.
Yeah. What if he goes to Oregon?
Yeah.
Prefontaine.
I know.
It would be
Whew.
great for me because then I would have an excuse to root for Oregon
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
win a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And my dad would be proud. But that is like that's the best track school like one of the best
One
track
of the
schools in
best.
America.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Dang. That's cool. Well, y'all are the best. Thank you for coming.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having
Okay.
us.
Thanks,
Yeah, this
guys.
is
This
great.
is fun.
All right. We'll see you next week. I think I will be here next week.
All right.
Could be late again. I don't know. Maybe I will. All right. We love you. Bye.